Yep, they got something we want.
Well, it sounds like right now we got something they want.
In Afghanistan.
What about China? China demands that we stay out of the South Chinese Sea.
Well, it sounds like right now we got something they want.
What is up, people? So, unfortunately, Jose couldn't stream tonight or today, so stream for him. What I'll do, because you guys are used to it, I'm gonna go ahead and pretty much run the panel the same way he does, and just let you guys go. Pretty much only interacting to keep it respectful, and then I think what I'll do is I'll let that go for a while, and then stream later. My regular stream. But I'm pretty much gonna run this one just like Jose. Just keep things usual. Keep you guys allowing you guys to do what you guys did over there in the morning. So we will speak and let's speak is what he says, right? Or at least we think that's what it sounds like. But hope you guys enjoyed the remembrance for the frogs. I hope everyone had a moment of silence for it. I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in the chat for the blah blah blah. I'm gonna go ahead and put the link for the hangout in the chat and let you guys come on in and have at it. Oh, boom. What's up, P. Mars? We on a good one today? We're cool?
Hello.
Yeah?
I'm depressed.
What's up, farmers? How you doing, sir? What's up, Soapy?
There we go.
Hello.
Hello.
How you guys doing? Like I said, I'm pretty much gonna kind of stay out of it and let you guys just have fun.
Oh, cool. I appreciate that. I mean, these things can't be helped, and you don't realise how much you rely on the internet until you ain't got it.
Yeah. Does happen. I it's happened before where I couldn't stream. So it gets frustrating, a lot to people that want to stream or want to get on these panels and are used to seeing Jose's, and so decide, F it.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's do it.
So are you going to be doing yours later on as well?
Yeah. I'm gonna stream a little bit later on, like I usually do, so that way I'm can be more topic based here, and then I can interject more. I don't really want to interject. I want to let you guys just have at it, rather than how I run mine, where I'm usually talking mostly over people. I rather give you guys the opportunity to have fun and do what you guys normally do over there.
Well, I guess we got to wait for everybody to catch up then, because
Yeah, Jose's.
Get too far at the moment, are we?
Yeah, well, everyone's got it. As long as everyone shares, hopefully it'll get out to the people that usually is around. I was gonna ask Jose to keep his the live stream up. You know how he had it. That way we could share the links there. But I think he was more. He just wanted to get all that stuff taken down and all that. So there it is. It'll be fun though. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
Hopefully, flags come through, or we'll just talk about any kind of thing. I don't really mind. I don't really mind what goes on talked about wise here. There's not too many topics I'll shy from.
Well, one thing I did catch first thing was I saw Lewis Hackett was online, obviously whilst I was fast asleep, and he'd caught something from the Infinite Plane Society that I thought was quite interesting. He was talking to Bob Noble, and I don't think Bob realised he was being recorded.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was difficult to hear some of it because Lewis had got it sort of turned down a bit, so couldn't. But yeah, Bob was saying, you know how you'll have a conversation with somebody in private, and you might have a different conversation if it's sort of being broadcast live or being recorded, and I think that's what was going on. But it was a job to hear what Bob was saying sometimes, because Lewis had got the sound quite low. But that sounded quite interesting. They do seem to be doing quite a good job at fighting each other at the moment.
Yeah, it's find it. Oh, I don't find it odd. It had to happen at some point. I just I thought a lot more flat earthers would realize that if all these things are going on and all these different tests that they're doing aren't coming out as planned, it'd be at least an eye opener for something.
Yeah.
What's up, Shawn? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Yes, I mean, there's so many sort of disparate personalities within the movement, and like I say, I don't think any two of them can agree on everything.
Yeah, they don't group think. They think like they're individuals with their own thoughts. It's
Own thoughts, own agendas, own approaches.
Yeah,
They are a loose collection of individuals. Yeah.
yeah. I think it's good. I don't like group thinking.
No, we know that. But it's when you've got sort of the bigger names in the movement have been sort of maintaining their stance for all this time, and to hear Bob the other night going on about, oh yes, there is a downward force that just happens to match what we say gravity is, and it's like, oh, hang on a minute, it was enough of a shocker when you realise that the Earth does indeed rotate at 15 degrees an hour, and you couldn't explain it. But then to try and explain to Jerryism that yes, there is a 9.881 meters per second squared downward acceleration. I think when you've got to that point, well, What's next?
Well, see, I'm confused. I watched a little bit of it, but he's not saying he's a glober now, right?
Oh no. He's not, in no way is he saying he's a glober, but he is now acknowledging that there is something. Although I still don't think he wants to quite nail his colours to the mast. He's saying there is a force or something that causes things to drop and accelerate at 9.81 meters per second squared.
Well,
mean,
just like a protective, in denial mother whose son is gay, he doesn't want to say
Yes.
the G word.
No, they don't, do they?
No.
And anything but.
Yep.
Yeah, that's weird because I guess that'd be like what, almost like the Flat Earth Society's version of it, because Flat Earth Society doesn't deny gravity either, but they have the whole thing that flat Earth is actually moving in an upwards direction, and that's what it is.
Well, that's impossible.
Well, yeah,
how
if you take that.
the
Sorry, go
Flat
on.
Earth Society is a parody or not?
Well-
Satirical site or something.
Well, they've been,
Yeah.
I mean, of all the groups, they've probably been around the longest, and I don't know when, maybe I'm not really sure when it happened, but I know when I became a flat earther, it was around the time like nobody trusted them. Like everyone was convinced that that's where like all the shills are at.
Yeah. Well, they are the famous Flat Earth Society that has members all over the globe.
Right.
So you got to think, was that just an honest mistake, or was that sort of done? Hey, yeah, we're in on the joke too.
Yeah.
I
A
don't know.
little tongue in cheek.
Yeah, but I mean the whole argument, if it even warrants being called that the flat Earth is accelerating upwards at 9.81 meters per second squared. Depending on how old you think the flat Earth is, I mean, what sort of speed would we be doing now? As given that it is a rate of acceleration and it's a
Infinity.
constant rate of acceleration. I mean, yeah, you've only got to think about it for a couple of seconds and think, no, that don't work. That couldn't possibly work.
Yeah.
We'd have broken the speed the speed of light many years ago. Even if you assume a creationist view and say, well, the world's only 6,000 years old, or 6,000 years of acceleration at that speed, I suppose I could crunch the numbers, but I don't think my calculator's got enough digits on it to show it properly.
Hey, Lenny, Harry, how could you confuse me for Mr. P? I'm way more handsome.
I think even a mind of God would feel that kind of speed.
Yes. Even mind of fog might go.
His sensitive senses that can sense anything. He'd feel that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We detect a flat, level-less, motionless plane with our five senses, right? So
What we don't detect is constant speed. Our bodies have no way of detecting a constant sort of unvarying velocity. As soon as you change it, as soon as there's a change in direction, acceleration, deceleration, yes, our bodies feel that. But if you're doing a steady speed, like you're sat in a car, a train, a plane, what have you, if they're going at a steady speed, you don't notice that. Your body, otherwise you'd never be able to sit there and happily doze off or get out of your seat or anything, because your inner ear would just go, no, don't like that.
Yeah.
Trip over, fall over, puke, whatever, But no, your body doesn't notice that. As soon as somebody jams the brakes on, yeah, you'll feel that straight away. But that's one thing our bodies, our senses are no bloody good at detecting, which is how we can sit on a rotating Earth that is, when you add all the speeds up, is going at one hell of a rate. But because it's a constant, unchanging rate, we don't feel it.
right,
Yeah,
We don't see it. We've got we've got nothing. We can't look outside of our reference frame and go, my God, look at everything rushing past. You can't see it.
Well,
Yep.
us flat earthers, we realize we've been lied to. So if we can't detect something ourselves, then it's hard for us to just believe what the authorities say because they've been caught lying so many times.
Yes, but there's lies and there's lies.
Like I was looking at the NASA mission patches the other day, and they're just like blatant Illuminati symbolism. But I don't know. People don't really talk about that.
Well, yeah, if you believe in that sort of thing.
You know that religions have many symbols from different sources. Like Christians have symbols from Egyptians and other heathen religions. So that's not an argument that an organization has symbols from another organization.
No, what you just said isn't an argument because you don't know anything about symbolism.
I know.
So there's this thing called occult symbolism, the Freemasons, Masonic symbolism, and NASA logos are rife with occult symbols like pyramids, all-seeing eyes, etc.
Yeah,
That's
but
funny.
even if that's true, what is the bad thing with that?
Well, it just shows the purpose of the occult is to hide technology. It just proves that NASA is part of this group that's been conspiring against humanity for all of time, hiding technology and information so they can survive better than us and turn us into slaves.
Are you
Yeah, but
fucking
that's
crazy,
exactly
dude?
not true because
That's
NASA and
insane.
the other
It's called
organizations drive the technology of
it is
mankind.
true. It's called the
Insane,
mystery
dude.
schools.
You're insane, dude.
Not insane.
If you claim something like that, then
crackhead.
you are insane.
So
I'm not
an
insane. This
organization
is
that
real
relies on
shit. Just because
technology
you haven't
and supports
educated
technology
yourself
is
on
trying to
mystery
hide
schools
technology
doesn't
from us.
mean
Fucking grow
mystery
up,
schools
man.
are not a thing.
Get
And I am
outside,
crazy.
get
It's a
on your
real thing that
bike,
anyone can
Okay.
research.
get
and
on
it's
your
not crazy
bike,
at all.
and then go
So,
out and exercise,
I don't
man.
need your
Don't
lip. I
stay
just need you to
indoors
do
and
research.
fester
We
in
can have
your
a
own
conversation on
in
topics.
your own paranoia.
Not
Get
to have a
outside and ride a
conversation on
bike, man.
topics with
Exercise.
cards who do no research. They don't know shit.
Get outside and do a little
Yeah, go
do a
research.
You
little
guys
exercise,
realize that
ride
you
your
don't
bike,
understand anything you say.
And then we can have a
and
conversation, Sean.
yeah,
All
grow
you
up,
can really
man.
talk about at
Not
this point
everything
your
is
fucking
scary.
equatorial mount, and how
Not
many
everything is
conversations can you have about your
out to
equatorial mount?
hurt you or
I don't think very many.
do you damage.
Research other subjects.
Not everything is against you, P Mars.
Yes, it is.
Get out and
You're
do some
being
exercise. Get
enslaved
your
by-
brain working.
You're a
Get your
peasant.
brain working, dude. You've been festering in your own paranoia for too long, man. Get out and be active.
If you didn't display all the signs of a slave, I would be way less paranoid.
Oh, I'm a slave because you think I'm a slave. Get out and
slave. I don't
exercise,
think you're a
man.
slave.
Do something.
You're a Neal
Knock the
peasant.
pounds off you. Get out and do something.
I can't lose any more weight, dude.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, then just shut the fuck
Carl
up then,
Young-
because you're an insane motherfucker.
I'm not insane. Carl
Guys,
Jung
guys,
said
guys,
that-
guys, 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 guys.
Fuck what
No,
Carl
we don't-
Jung
hey,
says.
there's no need to get personal. Let's just keep going.
Oh, I'm sorry I read Carl Jung. I wish you would read so we could have an interesting conversation, but you just want to talk about your equatorial mount because you do no research
about-
on that. So
Have a conversation about
let's
your
talk about the
paranoia?
equatorial mount for the 300th
About
day.
your paranoia and ignorance? That's what you want to have a conversation about? No, I don't want to have a conversation about that.
I smoked crack 20 years ago, and now I want to teach people about science.
Well, what's your point? You were fat
Well,
as
people
fuck
don't wanna
not
learn
too
about
long ago,
science
right?
from Crack
You were
fiends.
fat as
Yeah,
fuck not
Sean.
too
I
long
don't-
ago. What
I
does
don't
that
go
say
on
about
street
you?
Crackheads.
What does that say
Science
about you?
fake.
You were addicted to shit you can buy in the fucking store.
Hey guys, real shit. Let's have a conversation about real things that everyone gives a fuck about. No one cares about anyone 20
Well,
years
then-
ago. And
Sean.
yeah, no, I agree. I know. They're kind of just jumping all over you, P Mars. And I don't think it's necessary. I didn't think I'd ever say that, but let's keep it topic based, guys. Not really care about personal shit. It's not really necessary for right now. Thank you.
I didn't bring the personal shit up, Sean.
No, you're
You know
100%.
that.
No, you're right.
You know that.
No,
Sean,
you're right.
you
You're right. Oh, you didn't bring the personal
I
shit
don't
up,
bring
but
the personal shit up till you call me a fucking crackhead.
yeah, everyone.
And then it's on, and it's fucking on.
Well, look, I think he did it because everyone was talking over him when he was trying to talk, but it doesn't need to be personal, and we don't need to jump all over everyone. It's his opinion, his belief, and what he does. I mean, it's not.
No, he didn't do it because we were jumping all over him. He starts with that shit, man.
Well, I from what
The main arrow in his quiver.
Well, either way, let's just talk about what's going on. I'm not blaming anybody. I just wanted to let's have a topic-based conversation rather than a yelling match, because no one hears you guys either way.
He's a brainless, paranoid, idiot who thinks that everything is out to get him, man, and it's not true.
Okay, how about this? We were talking about Bob Nodell's whole Jeranism issue. Why don't we talk about Jeranism and his observations and his complete denial that he knows it's a globe?
I'm being called a liar by Channel Q, and I'm not a liar. Channel Q, I don't like her if you're gonna put content out, you gotta take criticism, and all I did was simply criticize your scripted drama content, and I just don't like scripted drama, and I like real drama. So, yeah, all I did was criticize you. I'm not a liar. There's no reason to be upset. Like, if you don't like the criticism,
All right, well,
I don't understand why you'd be upset.
Well, you can always type in the chat for that, but let's move it on.
No, I'm banned in the chat.
Oh, you are, aren't you? You're right. Let me go. P Mars, are you done? Like doing that whole, I can unban you and not have to care.
I want spam.
Thank you, sir. Give me about 2 seconds and I'll take care of that.
We're dealing with a toddler here.
Shawn, come on, man. You guys are just gonna instigate him. He's gonna start flipping out on me on my channel. It's not even it's like he takes it out on me and I'm trying to help.
I'm trying to help you guys by being a flat earther.
No, you're not. You're trying.
How are you gonna have content without a flat earther? You're just gonna be an echo chamber.
You're trying to instigate, man. That's all you're trying to do.
All right,
I'm trying to give you content.
You're good to go in the chat now. Let's see if I have. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to hear, I get what PMR is doing. Flat Earthers, anybody, mind of God, if you want to speak up, just have a conversation about something. I mean, it doesn't need to be all personal. How you doing? How you doing, sir?
Good. Yeah, don't censor PMars, man. He's a huge asset to our side. We need this guy.
I didn't censor anybody. I'm okay. Yeah, cool. Not at all. I was because Jose couldn't go on, so basically I was gonna hold the panel for you guys and kind of step out and not really be too involved unless I needed to be, and then do my stream later on. But I mean, yeah, if no one wants to have a convo and no one wants to jump on the panel, we can always just have a wrap. So I don't really mind.
I have a question for you, man. If you don't mind, slight topic change.
I don't mind at all.
So there's been a couple videos about UFOs and stuff. What are your thoughts, being a little bit on the inside? Have you ever seen one, or do you know of people who've experienced them?
Okay, well, that's actually good question. I believe in UFOs only as they're unidentified objects. Every time I look up in the sky, I have no idea what airliner that is. Therefore, it could be a UFO. Aliens? I don't think so. But I mean, damn, the universe is a huge place.
But I don't know if you saw like people in the Navy or like mainstream news is coming out saying that people on the quote inside have experienced them and they don't know what they are. So obviously, they would be the people who would probably have some sense of what's in the airspace, right? So it would be something not quote human potentially, right?
Yeah, if anything, if I wanted to look into if aliens were real or not, I would probably go and look at FAA reports, declassified FAA reports, because they do reports on military stuff they see and the military acknowledges and then they put under wraps. But there's documentation out there that's going to have sightings of stuff. I would just look for the real stuff that's not doctored or just complete BS. I mean, I find it kind of odd. We're 2019 using smartphones, and no one's got a good, clear image of UFOs. That's odd to me.
That is very suspicious. That we're still, when we do see video and photos, it looks like it's been filmed on a potato. And it's generally quite inconclusive. And you think, well, bloody hell, that could be just about anything, including a dirty mark on the the glass in front of the lens. You know?
So now you guys know the way we feel. I like the way you're speaking about this. This is our same issue with the NASA images.
So the crazy thing is
At the time that I saw this article in National Enquirer, this was back in the 90s. That's when like disposable cameras were the rage. Everybody had a camera, either in their pocket, their bag, in their car, anywhere.
Yeah.
Especially in Japan. And this story was alien UFO lands, talks to people in Tokyo, Japan, and nobody took a picture. All they had is an artist rendering. So yeah, I don't.
But
believe
in Japan, I mean, the Japanese tourists are a meme in themselves when it comes to cameras and taking photos. You know, and I've seen it when I've had to go into London, and I've quite often found myself going over Westminster Bridge. And of course, every man and his dog is stopping and taking a photo of Big Ben and the House of Commons and all the rest of it. I mean, you know, in the summer in London, you can't move for bloody tourists taking bloody photos. You know, every man and his dog's got a camera, and
all they had was an artist rendering. Right.
Yeah, you don't think the Navy would lie, right? You don't think RT News would lie, right, about this?
Not about what is important to our lives. No, I don't think they would.
What? Can you put an example?
Well, I saw the video yesterday.
No. I'm saying Sean.
Hang on. About the Navy.
Hang on. What would be an example of like of important things to you, Sean?
For our health and well-being.
Well, what about stuff like reports of the CDC dismissing cases of vaccines and stuff, and then we find out that a court case didn't even go that way, or they're prepping for votes on vaccine care and transparency. And then
that's not the Navy. That's not the military.
Well, those are even more reluctant to give us information.
Right. The military just does what the government tells them to do, but they have a code that they have to follow. And that code is not to hurt people. I mean, the paranoia with the government, I can see the paranoia with the government. They do lie, but they don't lie to the shit that is important, right? They don't say,
because like
the government doesn't intentionally hurt us. That's not their goal. That's not even on the list of that isn't even on their small bucket list.
Yeah, but
they're not here to hurt us. They're here to protect and provide for our best interest.
Okay. Well,
now they may lie in doing that, and they may do some heinous shit to accomplish it, but the people are in their best interest.
So
that's how I feel about it.
So if killing maybe some people to save more, would that be a good reason for them, or a justified
war? Yeah, absolutely.
Then I mean, because
the needs of the many and all that, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few,
right?
Or the one.
Because if you look at like the declassified documents that have come out, like for Northwoods, what's the one in Vietnam? I think the one where they killed like a whole village. Like they'll keep things under wraps if it's bad for them. Yes, thank you, sir.
You fuck up. Yeah, everybody fucks up. They fuck up, they're going to keep it under wraps. Anybody would.
Okay,
but that's not having the interest of the general public. Anyway,
I mean, if you look at it logically, I mean, say that those in power, and we'll presume we're talking about you lot over in the States at the moment, say that they do actually happen to know, and they've had contact with intelligent life not of this planet. Do you think that they might well consider it better for us as a species not to know?
I guess it would depend on hostile or not.
No, it's because the Bible says that those UFOs are God's angels, so they're hiding God, just like with the ball of Earth.
Don't bring the Bible into it. Let's just say they have made contact.
pretty sure it's advanced technology. I don't think it's. You're making a lot of noise, Sean. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's advanced technology. The UFOs. It's not from outer space. That's all.
I mean,
Okay.
just the law of probability says that there must be somewhere out there must be other life forms, not just us. I mean, the chances of us being the only intelligent life, if we can call ourselves that, in the entire universe has got to be so slim.
That's
You know,
like
they must be out there somewhere. But A, are they out there? B, how far away are they? C, do they have the technology to actually travel here within a logical, a sensible time frame? Because at the moment, we sure as hell can't. We haven't even got to the next poxy planet yet.
I mean, being paranoid of the government is fine. Being too paranoid of the government is harmful.
That's the line, isn't it? It's when you go too far.
That whole notion of looking for intelligent life out there really got the ball moving on this whole fake pseudoscience thing. That now pseudoscience gets funding from the government because SETI got government funding based off a Drake equation by Carl Sagan, and the Drake equation is full of variables that we can't possibly know. It's just complete pseudoscience, and it's still got.
If you want to look at the definition of variables, just look at that. I mean, those variables are about as variable as they can get, aren't they? I mean, it takes guesswork to the nth degree because we just don't know. It's as simple as that. We just don't know, and I think it's going to be probably an awful long time before we get anywhere close to the truth. But then you're just into the realms of pure speculation, and that doesn't really achieve anything.
No, we're close to the truth. We know we're not spinning. That's a good start.
that's not true.
No, you see, you're wrong straight away.
Yeah.
We are definitely
They were
spinning.
not spinning, and then we have the experiment Bob Noodle made. Sorry, Bob Noodle was it Bob Noodle?
Yes.
Well,
he
he didn't actually do the experiment, but he's the one that spoke about 15 degrees per hour, yeah.
Yeah, he said that. He admitted that live on camera. We can see it on Netflix. And then he said, yeah, well, it's not the Earth moving. It's probably the heavenly energies or whatever.
Yes.
So we say the Earth moves 15 degrees per hour. They prove it. And then they say it's not that. So go figure.
That's how they work. They say, oh, show us your proof. And they actually find the proof themselves, and then they try to do everything they can to disprove the proof that they just found. I mean, it's face palming. It really is.
I heard a quote, and I'm gonna butcher it, but it goes something like, "Men will not believe the obvious when believing the obvious goes against what makes them money," something like that.
That sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't place it.
Yeah, I heard it quoted, and I can't remember. It's a very famous quote, and I just butchered it. But yeah, when it goes against Bob Nodell, Boob Noodle, won't believe that the Earth is spinning and spherical, because that goes against his bottom line. That's what makes him money there, mind to God. And he will never admit that because he's red pill to pay the bill.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that it's fair to put his stuff, just like I don't really use Neil deGrasse against ballers anymore because they're all just actors.
I think it's kind of funny, like, if the conspiracy involves making money, then these normies will believe it. They can't go beyond money, though, and they can't see, like, them doing things for power. Like, I personally don't think the elite really care about money because they create money. Like, the money doesn't really matter to them, but it matters to them that we love money because they use it to control us. But
agreed.
I suppose when there's a certain element of when you're that rich, you know, when you get to the point where you are just so obscenely rich that money just isn't an issue anymore, because at that point it's self-generating anyway, and you can do whatever the fuck you like.
It doesn't even matter for moderately rich people like Tiger Woods. He just can go to a restaurant, sit down, eat, and walk up and leave because he was an asset for them for that hour that he was there. So how much more?
Oh yeah, look, Tiger Woods eats there. Yeah, let's all try and book a table. Yeah. Oh no, I see how that works. But you know, when you're talking about the sort of people who are probably rich enough that they could own their own country.
No, that's what I'm saying. How much more for them? They could literally go anywhere in the world, call the person who owns whatever they're walking on, and just have it cleared out. You know, it's like their money is irrelevant for them.
They can't. Tiger Woods can't walk up and take someone's house because he wants it, dude. Are you?
No. I'm just talking on a more local level. He can, and there's been stories of him going to restaurants and just not paying, like he just walks out. And so, on the level of a Rothschild, you could just literally go wherever you want. You don't have to carry a credit card or cash or whatever. It's just
chances are those restaurants that he just walked out on, he's got a tab, and his publicist probably pays that bill. You know, rich people just don't walk up and take shit and leave, and everybody lets them. Dude,
no one's arguing that somebody's going to pay for that. I'm just saying he himself doesn't have to because he doesn't need to.
No, that comes out of his money, man. That comes out of his pay. Out of his bank account.
When people like that go to restaurants and stuff, and the amount of attention that
they have to pay like everyone else, unless it's comped.
No, dude, you should leave your house once in a while, man.
Unless it's comped, they pay. I've worked restaurants, man. I'm
sure their people take care of it.
Yeah, they do.
But at the same time, you know, these are probably they're the sort of people, they don't have to worry about booking a table, you know, two weeks in advance because it's so popular. You know, I mean, you know, you when you can drop your own name like that, I'm sure that's where it really helps. You know, Tiger Woods. If you got a table free, they're going to go, yes, of course, and then you know, sotto voce, shit, quick, find a table. You know,
Bill Clinton, when he was president, went to a McDonald's when he was campaigning on his second term. And he went to McDonald's to campaign. He ordered a bunch of food and walked away from the counter. And the guy behind the counter said, "Excuse me, Mr. President, are you going to pay for that?"
Do you think they would have chased after him and?
Oh yeah, they would have. Yeah, they would have. Because
Shawn, you're out of your mind.
He's like everyone else.
Done that out of principle. I've been out there. You need to running after him, going, "Who do you think you are?"
You need a break from these hangouts, dude.
You know what it says in the McDonald's employee manual? It says if your drawer doesn't come up right, you owe that money. They'll fire you, man. You think that employee is going to let that, what, $12, $20 fucking deficit be in his drawer? Fuck no. I would have run after him too.
You're lost, man. You're totally lost, dude.
So you get fired over Trump?
Man of God, you do realize that the president is not excluded from the law. I mean, he has some freedoms.
Why are you guys making it so obvious that you guys are completely out of your mind? Like, I don't understand.
You think you can murder someone and then get away from that?
You don't think that there's difference?
Hello, Kettle. Kettle, yeah, hello, it's Pop. You're black.
Why don't you try to like pretend to be not a shill for like a day?
I am not a shill. How do I get money? How do I get money from the US government?
When am I getting my shield check?
You don't think there's different rules for different people on the earth right now?
What?
You don't think there's different set of rules for a certain group of people on the earth right now?
Oh, more likely, because everybody's created equal, but some people are more equal than others.
Yeah, but you know,
you guys are despicable human beings. You guys are disgusting.
Why I am a disgusting?
You guys are an enemy to the common person. You guys are disgusting human beings.
I think that's why they push this evolution lie, because these people believe they're more evolved than other people.
You are insane. You realize that like 90.
Thank you, mind to God. Thank you so much for that. I needed that.
No, everybody knows you are. I'm talking about the others who are shilling.
Okay.
Really?
How am I shilling?
You don't stating the obvious fact that there are groups of people that get special treatment, very, very special treatment on the earth right now.
I didn't say that. I said the president has some freedoms, like some other people, but he's not fully excluded from the law. He cannot go out and murder someone and get away with it.
They're doing that every day, man. What are you talking about?
He doesn't murder anyone.
Sir, do you watch the news with what's going on? Do you know why?
I'm not talking about
the reason why these wars are happening.
I'm not talking about military.
So
someone to kill someone.
So you think that we think that Trump and Obama are out in the evenings killing people? That's what you think this discussion was about?
They don't openly kill people. They have to do it behind closed doors. But I could see a future where that's why they're trying to get rid of Christianity, because they want a future where the only reason why they can't openly kill people is because of Christian values and things that people have instilled. But they want to kill Christianity and get rid of traditional values, and then there will be open corruption, open murder. Yeah.
You don't need Christianity for morals, man.
Yeah.
No, you don't. If you need a religion for morals, there's something fucking wrong with you.
You're not moral. Yeah.
No,
If you need Christianity for morals, you're not moral.
You guys need the government for morals.
Christianity is the only reason that the West holds human life sacred. It's the only reason is Christianity. You have to be thankful
So
for
you
Christianity.
deny the slavery
No.
and the killings of hundreds of thousands of Native Americans. They were killed by Christians with their Christian morals.
Yeah.
They thought they are subhumans. Something
Yeah.
like
Most religious flat earthers, well, all of them are lying and deceiving people in the name of their God,
exactly.
bearing false witness in the name of their own God, who preaches against that.
Praise be unto him and all that bollocks.
Well, I'm not wrong when I say that you have to thank Christianity for the fact that those in power just can't openly murder us. It's because of Christianity. So
Who can't murder us? Sorry.
those in power, back in the day, like the kings want the ability to just do whatever they want. Zbigniew Brzezinski talked about this. Like they want to get rid of traditional values, and that's why there's this huge attack on Christianity with stuff like the heliocentric model and evolution and all this stuff.
But you know that like 99% of the Christians believe in the globe and evolution and stuff like that.
You do know that Christianity is a conglomeration of every religion on the planet. Up until the time when what's his name? Constantine invented Christianity, right?
Modern Christians that believe in evolution and the heliocentric model are actually closer. They're like moving away from God, even though they're technically Christian. They
say they believe in God with all their heart and faith they have, but you say they are moving away from God. How can you be more of an asshole?
I'm not an asshole. It's the same thing Nietzsche was saying when he said God was dead. He's talking about how a Christian from the past wouldn't. If you took a Christian like 300 years ago and showed him Christianity today, he wouldn't even recognize it. He would think they were all Satanists.
Yeah,
that's how much they changed Christianity. That's what I'm saying.
Agreed.
That's well said, P. Mark.
So you want to have the old Christianity from like hundreds of years ago.
Modern day Christianity is an extension of the government, and the 501c3 designation honors that, ensures that.
I didn't understand what you said.
The 501c3 nonprofit ensures that they don't speak on certain topics. That's why 99.9% of Christianity will not speak out against the government in any tangible way.
No, that changed. That changed with the Freedom of a Religion Act.
Prove it.
Now there's no wall between church and state.
Let's play a sermon right now where a mainstream pastor is speaking out against the government. Prove it.
Okay.
No, I was talking to Hawkins. Prove it.
That doesn't prove that.
Just give
Donald
me one
Trump
example.
Signed an executive order.
Give me one example.
Donald Trump signed an executive order.
That's fine. Just give me one example where you have audibly heard a pastor or any leader in a church speak out against the government. Just play the video, or send me.
I've seen them speak for the government for a specific candidate, which is
against. We're talking about against the government.
Yeah, there are churches that speak out against the government. Exactly.
Then tell us who the person is. I want to know. Genuinely curious. Who?
Go fucking find one.
No,
I had to find it.
I can't. That's why I'm asking you. You made the statement.
Not every.
Cite your source, Shawn. Cite your source, buddy.
Don't they exist, but they don't get the tax-free exemption or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. The 501c3.
They used to not get it. They used to not get it, but now they can get it because they changed that law.
Just like you walked us through the 93 million mile sun with Wikipedia, give us some sources, man. Like, that's all I'm asking. How do I say it in a friendly way so you do it?
I didn't say that churches were speaking out against the government. I said the government changed the laws allowing churches to do that.
False, unless you show us
If you had a fucking ear, if you were smart enough to fucking listen and weren't biased and jumped in on shit, you would have heard me say that.
Even if I give you that,
you like to straw man people and jump down people's throats because you don't know shit, dude.
Let's just say I even give you the fact that in the background they did allow that and freed that speech.
No, that's a fact. They did that. That's
Sure.
one of the first things that Donald Trump did. Is they separated church. They joined church and state by not making them be non-biased in politics.
The reason we know that
they changed that.
Even postmodern, more progressive churches, they also don't speak out against the government. So I'm not even asking for a Joel Osteen or a Creflo Dollar, but someone at the middle tier. Just give me an example of them speaking out, and what topic are they speaking out against specifically?
Why?
I want it because I've never seen it in my life. I'd be shocked.
Then go fucking look it up, dude.
Just like bendy water. If you show me that, I'd be shocked. It's the same thing. I just want to see
Look out at the ocean for bendy water, but why are you asking me for proof of what churches?
You made the claim that it's
made the claim, you fucking moron. I just told you.
Yeah,
listen, open up your fucking ears. Turn up your goddamn bell tones, motherfucker.
You guys have to say it. Shawn Hawkins, you got to say it in a way that the man of God approved the message. You remember, you got to give him what he wants.
Oh my God, Jose's on here are you gonna like censor people, or what? Are you gonna allow us to talk?
Boom. This isn't my show, bro. This isn't my
When
show.
he
You're not
was
on my show.
censor
You're
someone.
welcome here. I'm here to hang out.
No, I just wonder why he's here. Is he here to like limit the things we can talk about, or are we allowed to talk?
This is not my channel. I can do. I'm just
I'm
like
not
you.
paranoid.
Like
I know
everybody.
they're out to get me.
Well, Sean G says open panel. I don't know. That word open is kind of up for debate these days. Jose, do you agree?
Oh, I mean, I'm in an open panel. Shawn G call it open panel. I call it open panel on my rules, on my
What's your definition of
my
open?
terms.
How do you define open?
Anyone can join.
Anyone can talk whatever the fuck I allow to be talked.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
open panel on
open
my
is,
channel.
okay, good. So open is whatever you allow. Got it. I'm just curious.
Exactly, because it's my channel, it's my rules. If you
Correct.
want to be
Yeah.
open and
Man
want to
of
talk
God,
about the
would
shit
you
you want, you
like-
can do it on your channel, bro. That's
Yep. That's
Man
the
of
rule.
God, would you like that we talk about, like, I don't know, There are certain topics we should not talk about.
No, that's what the government wants. They want us to continue to just gossip about
I'm
things.
not
that are
talking about the government. Should we talk about, like, we all had black people or something like that? Do you know what I mean?
No. What do
We
you?
can't say anything. We can't discuss everything. There are topics we should not talk about because they are private. They are
No, there's not. Everything's out in the open.
offensive, whatever.
The whole world is a complete freak show. Why would we not talk about things? It's just a complete joke. So who cares? Like, just
I
be
mean, we
open.
have many topics we can talk about.
Yeah, because all these topics, especially our leadership, affect us on a daily basis. It's becoming abundantly obvious to us.
How
we can talk about
how
anything. Can we talk about your mother?
How are you planning to change
want
this, man of God? What is your plans to change the world and the way we see it? Come on,
It's not. I
illuminate
think,
us.
I think actually that's a great point, Jose. Is exactly what you're doing and others are censoring ensures that we will not change the world because quote unquote truthers are limiting the amount of things that we can talk about. So progress will always be constipated by people at the quote unquote lower level and even people.
About what topics would you like to talk about? And
But what
which of
about
them are censored?
There's a whole idiom that says you're not supposed to talk about politics or religion. Well, how can we make the world a
That's
better
not-
place if we're never talking about politics or religion?
Well
It's
said.
not true. We talk about it like every day with other people.
Well, they talk about it. They talk about that's party etiquette, P.
You can't even say Donald Trump on Jose's panel without getting booted right off the panel immediately. I didn't even get the two
That's not
words.
true.
What can't you say, Donald Trump?
No, you can't because on Jose's panel you'll get killed. Here, I'm okay.
We have this like
Well,
society.
You're full of shit, the man of God. You are so fucking full of shit. Fucking
Yeah.
disingenuous. I never censor you for saying Donald Trump.
No, I mean you kicked me
Yeah.
when I said Donald Trump on your show.
No, you were full of shit. You were going down this rabbit hole on whatever bullshit verbal diarrhea, and you were
No,
going,
just
and I
wanted
told you. for that.
I wanted Brenda to say something against the government. They said they're against Donald Trump.
Oh, okay, the government, yeah. You were talking government, not Donald Trump specifically. So you are full of shit.
No,
Don't misinterpret what I did, bro.
She said Donald Trump, and I asked to go down that topic a little bit more, and then I got kicked for some reason. I just
Be
wanted to
genuine. Yeah, I didn't bully you for saying Donald Trump.
I wanted
don't
a
be fucking
baller.
a freak.
I wanted a baller to talk about something against the government. It's almost like pulling teeth just to get them to concede anything negative about the government.
Don't be fucking disingenuous. I didn't bully you for saying Donald Trump, bro. Don't misinterpret me.
I remember the dialogue directly. It was Brenda talking against the government, and she mentioned that she was against Donald Trump. I just wanted to hear a little bit more. What specifically about Donald Trump did she not like?
Do you got a channel? Do it on your channel, bro.
No, I am.
Do it here. I mean, this is not my channel. You
No,
can
I
talk
just
whatever you want.
you asked me what my plan is and how are we going to fix things, but we can't when channels like yours that claim to be about the truth and claim to be open are.
Yeah, but you're not on my channel now. Talk about it, bro.
No, but you're
Yeah, now you can talk about it.
You're limiting progress to humanity by censoring.
I'm not, bro. I'm just an average Joe. I'm just Jose, bro. I'm
No,
doing
no,
whatever the fuck I
no,
want on my
average
channel,
Joe-
bro. You got a
average
channel.
Joe-
Everybody got the power to do it on your
Average
on
Joes
your
talk
place,
about
bro.
things openly. Average Joes just talk things openly, plainly. You know what's up. I see what's going on. Yeah, the financial manipulation.
If that's the way you see it, yeah. Well, you're welcome to do it, bro. Yeah, in my channel, no. I say no. That fuck it.
Well, you should just change the title of it. I think it's false advertising.
I can do whatever the fuck I can tell whatever the
You
fuck I
know
want, bro.
what-
It's my fucking channel. What the fuck is wrong with you against my channel, bro?
It's not
Oh
an
my
open
God.
discussion.
I can call it whatever the fuck I want. I can call it the fucking Pokemon show, and I can have a talk about flat Earth, bro. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I think it's
Pokemon
open.
Show would be cool.
It's open. It's open.
You get a different audience then.
It's open to racism. That's for sure. That's confirmed. So I
What?
guess it's open in some way.
How it's open to racism?
I mean, it's people don't get slapped on the wrist for making off-color statements like that in many different ways. But we get censored because I say Donald Trump, who's our president. Like we're not even allowed to talk.
No, you didn't. You didn't get censored because of that, you lying asshole.
Yeah, I did. We could play the whole. We could play the whole.
Right
hang.
now, what you're doing is whining like a little bitch, and you're not telling us how can we help if you are allowed to talk about all of this. This is your chance, bro, to shine. Come on.
We can't. I'm saying we're never. It's not going to get better. That's the problem because we're not allowed to discuss the evil at the top. That's my point. That's why I'm here. Let everybody know that that's the case. And we can thank channels like Jose's for that. Like pat on the back.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah.
I
You're
gotta
welcome
go
anytime.
get
Do you
So,
think like
So I'm gonna bounce
Appreciate
for a bit. All right, catch y'all later.
Yeah, you guys are an enemy to
Catch you later, mate.
so? That I got it right. I don't want to offense Jose, but like, how does a hangout with like 50 to a few hundred views censor anything or stop the discussion or whatever you are talking
Yeah,
about?
exactly. Who cares? Like 100 people watching. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. So why? What's the
Exactly.
problem?
Then why you complain, bro?
Yeah.
No, why are you not allowing it? We're just talking about our own president, man. What's the big deal? If no one's above the law, they're open to be criticized. Why can't we talk just openly about how some things that I just wanted to ask a fellow American what their negative thoughts towards our president is? What's wrong with that?
Okay, I tell you in a sentence. I am not censoring you, even though if you feel like it. You know what happened? YouTube will censor my channel if I allow this talk on my channel. That is what's going on. If you don't want to understand it, if you don't want to take it, it's up to you, bro. I am doing what I can to keep my channel up. If you want to do it, bro, you got a platform.
But do you agree that that's evil? I that's fine to make a YouTube
I
channel.
don't care if it's evil or not. I'm happy with having my channel and being in somehow, kind of corner in a certain topics that I cannot
But
talk
why are
about.
you asking
I'm
me how
okay
we're
with
gonna
it. I'm
make
okay with
progress?
it.
How are you asking me when we're going to make progress when you're constipating it?
How about not me? It's YouTube, bro. I don't care. I mean, I'm happy with the rules. It's the rules. It's their house.
Well, then
I'm
don't
using
ask me how to make it better when you're the one
They
that's
are giving me a room. They are giving me a room in YouTube. It's like a house with 1,000,000 rooms. They're giving me a little room to talk about certain things and do kind of whatever I want. And they're listening through the door. And if I talk what they don't like, they're gonna boot me off the house. I don't want to be
so
booted
here's
off the
my
house.
answer
You
to your
see?
question.
So I
It's not
control it that way.
better because of people like you. That's all I got to say.
What?
Thank you.
Okay. So pat on the back for you. Thank you.
People like you.
Yes, who are not allowing us to just openly and diplomatically criticize our government.
Okay, so what you want to do is censor my channel in other ways, because if I talk about this stuff, hold on. If I allow you to talk about this stuff, my channel sooner or later is gonna get caught. It's gonna disappear. So that's what you will like me to do. He said, go all in. Fuck it. Fuck YouTube. Fuck the rules. Fuck the government. Right? So you want me to talk about all this shit, and if my channel gets censored, yeah, he was a martyr. He died for his sins. You know, right?
Enough channels get taken down. What do you think people will start waking up to? They'll start realizing, oh wow, like maybe our YouTube's not a good platform. Maybe we can start another one that doesn't do this. Correct?
Oh, I encourage everybody to do that, but not my channel is not going to cut down for that. Do it on your channel. Get your channel.
So your channel just contested. Your channel is essentially only allowing a pass to government shills, which is fine. Just let people know that. Put that in the title.
Yeah, okay. All I gotta say about this is fuck you. I'm not going to address you no more. You fucking piece of shit, man of God. Thank you.
Mind of God, have you martyred yourself?
What's that?
Have you martyred yourself?
My channel is very open. I speak openly. I have to because the evil is so blatant. I mean, I couldn't even avoid it even if I wanted to. It's just our government is overtly satanic.
No, it's not.
Answer my question. I said,
they're actually admitting that they're not creating a fair system themselves through their own words.
Mind of God, have you got a video that you can show me where you criticize this on your channel? Just link me to it.
Do you know about Skull and Bones? Like they laid naked in the coffin, and like the old men jerk on them, and then like they give themselves demonic names. Like what was Bush Senior was like Magog or something like that. Like
I'd really like Mind of God to give me a link.
And
any video on Mind of God's channel, Mind of God talks about all the hard things. Any video, pick one.
The CIA came out of Skull and Bones, and then there's a video of initiation where they're like talking about the devil. They're like, the devil equals death, death equals death.
I want to say because some people in the government do that. All of the government does that.
The government is definitely satanic. That is a fact.
The government is Christian.
I'm saying it, and it's a fucking
most of the
fact.
people in the government are Christians.
You're an idiot. They're fake.
You are an idiot, and don't call me an idiot.
No, they say they're Christian to get the constituents to vote for them, but it's a lie. You get it? The fuck wrong with you?
So everyone who's claiming is a Christian.
Open your eyes.
Your eyes. Maybe you don't hit your head the next time you walk out of your door.
We're just frustrated that you're not admitting things that are obvious.
What am I not?
Is it my freedom to not admit things that are obvious?
Well, I don't know. You guys get on us because
Is
we're
it
not.
my freedom? Yes or no? Do I have that choice?
Do we have the freedom to believe we're not spinning? Do I have the freedom to believe?
Do I have the freedom to not mention what you tell me to mention?
There's a person on this channel who wanted to annihilate us just because we believe we're not spinning. Do I have the freedom to believe we're not spinning? Then I'll answer your question.
Yes, no, you absolutely do.
You still stick with that? Sir, you don't know nothing. Go on mute.
Dean, do I have the right to, and freedom to believe?
100%. You have the right to do anything you want in my eyes.
What are you talking about, man of God? Mute yourself. You don't know what you're talking about. Mute yourself.
You have done nothing. You have done no experiments. You have done
nothing. Mute yourself, man of God.
I appreciate you saying that, Dean, because that's not what everybody on this panel on your side.
No, but what I'm saying is, if that is my choice to stay quiet on these topics because I either A, find them uncomfortable, B, believe that you're wrong, C, believe you but are too scared, that is my decision. And
correct.
You should not wish otherwise for me or attempt to force me.
No, but you're then allowed. I'm allowed to freely label you an enemy to the common man.
You can label me a pink daisy or a unicorn shite.
You are then
a coward. You are a coward.
I mean, mind of God, you are free to lie. So yeah, that's that.
Well,
yeah, government is as well.
He's just mad because we won't talk about what he wants to talk about. But when he does talk about what he wants to talk about, he gets about what 10 viewers on his channel, running and rambling about Jesus, being black.
Yeah, that's why we're not going to have progress.
How is that? Yeah, you go to a panel, you go to a show where we talk about the shape of the earth, and then you want to spill all your rhetoric. And then because we don't, you say that we're liars and we don't want to talk about the truth.
So Carlos, what does annihilating all flat earthers have to do with the shape of the earth?
It has to do with comedy and humor.
You find that funny? You find that funny in this day and age?
Yeah.
As a quote-unquote Christian, you find that funny?
The other people other than you find it funny because
why do you think there was an awkward silence after you made that statement, even with everybody else on the panel? Why do you think that?
Oh my goodness, I didn't think about that.
No, yeah, we know you don't think about a lot of things. That's very evident.
Hey, anyway, let me know. Do y'all think that was a funny joke? Yes or no?
No, because there's an awkward silence. You're
Sorry, I wasn't listening. I'd zoned Mind of God out, so I didn't catch anything.
Carlos is a moron. He'll make statements about a red dot on my forehead that I can run a 7-Eleven, that he wants to kill all flat earthers. And
Can you run a 7-Eleven though?
These are the kind of people that Jose's harboring on his Hangouts and not censoring, but I get censored because I mention our very president's name.
Again,
But you are a moron.
Carlos?
Let's make America great again with Uncle Trump. Thank you.
No, did you say make America great again?
All right, guys.
America should be made.
I'm gonna give the option. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna give the option to either change subject from by Mind of God, because I'm not gonna lie, he's the only one, defending his point, or we can keep it going, or we can change the subject. I mean, it's up to you guys. I kind of just want to give Mind of God an opportunity to not be just everyone at him. I see it, but
I do have a video of the ABC report on Skull and Bones and the initiation.
No one cares.
So I could play it. People in the chat were asking for it. I could play it.
How long is it?
Yeah, let's see it.
How long?
I think like 90 seconds.
I'll play. I don't care. I'll play 90 seconds of it, and then we'll change subject if that's all right with everyone else.
Just so people know, the 322 is 3 times 22, 66. That's why they use that number.
Yeah, I don't really believe in the whole cosmology of those number things. It doesn't make much sense.
Again.
Yeah. But,
I thought it was 6 times 11.
You can find any Freemasonic number or whatever in any way, everywhere. I mean, did you see the movie 23? I think it's called, with Jim Carrey.
Yes.
It's a fantastic movie to show how numerology doesn't work.
Hey, let me know when you're ready, Pimar.
Should I just start playing it?
Yeah. I just need to know when you're ready so I can share your screen.
Okay. I'll start playing it now.
All right.
7-Eleven.
He's come pretty close. She was part of a team that successfully recorded part of the initiation ceremony that takes place in the tomb's courtyard.
Okay, you have the doorway here.
Yeah.
Okay, then to the right, you have a hedge, and then you have an evergreen tree. If you follow that line straight back, courtyard's in there.
So that's where they have the ceremonies in
The outdoor part of it was indoors. So we only got to see the outdoor part.
Right.
We only got to listen to the outdoor part. God only knows what went on indoors.
And what did you hear? What was it you managed to get this unique
It was disgusting. It was gross. I mean, they were pretending to murder people. And
what was the tone of it, though? Was it jokey? Or was it...
No, it wasn't jokey at all. It was sick. That's the only thing to describe it. It was sick.
What you're hearing is the first recording ever made of the Skull and Bones initiation ceremony. It has never been broadcast before. 15 new members of the club are being introduced into the macabre rituals of Skull and Bones by the senior students who are about to graduate. The club has what some might see as a strange fascination with death, skulls and bones, and has the chants too, difficult to hear first of all, but including the devil.
Not really sure why the fuck. I don't see anything clearly happening.
This is an elaborate, occult, ritualistic entry into this group that they are.
Okay.
All right.
I wouldn't.
Were they pissed up frat boys?
Yeah, the thing I would say about
Is that
is
basically what we were looking at?
was kind of like the UFO thing,
Did
where it's
that not
like
work?
It worked.
No, it worked. We saw it.
Yeah, it was on the stream. The thing is like, how could it's too? Man, why is the
could you
footage
hear
so
it?
crappy?
Oh, because it's like
Probably CGI.
it's fucking old. It's like
Let's
And
say
then-
it's old.
Well,
it's
hang
like
on.
the old school.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the main issue I would have with it. It's like, first the footage. I mean, can't really see who anybody is, but the audio. I mean, you could have just tracked any audio to that and just reported something.
That was on ABC.
Well,
And
we know they're not. Hey, Pimars, you've said it yourself. Can't trust media.
yeah,
Here's
you
the
say
question. Could that be
CNN is
fake?
lying all the
Could that
time,
be
but
fake?
BBC is not correct.
Well, Wait a minute. That might have been ABC.
It's not fake.
But no, it might not be fake. I mean, you can't actually make that assertion. But that wasn't ABC doing that. That was ABC.
No, it was
paying,
ABC.
That was ABC paying for a source to give them that. They didn't. They won't have specifically gone out and said, "Hey, let's investigate this." It's someone that's gone to them and said, "Hey, I've got this." Now that doesn't speak to the veracity. It's up to the controller of that news organization to say whether he's done due diligence and checked it, or he might just run it as an entertainment piece.
Or it was faked. It's possible too, right, guys?
Let's say it's not fake. What
Let's
does
say it
that
is.
prove? I mean,
We're saying the government is satanic. That's Skull and
Is that
Bones.
some people joined the Skulls and Bones, and some people in the government may take part of satanic ritual or whatever.
That's
How
a
does
possibility.
that prove that the entire government is satanic? How?
Yeah,
What
are
do
we
you
saying
mean by
that?
that?
Are we
You're
saying that this is
answering the
going down at
question
the White
yourself.
House?
You're answering the question yourself.
I'm not.
If I'm part of an organization that is involved with evil, and I'm not physically hands-on, but I'm seeing it and know that it's happening, and I don't say anything, am I not indirectly or even directly co-signing it?
Well, the same could be said about the flat Earth. You got these people who drink urine and are demonic, so that means the flat Earth is demonic then.
There's satanic and Luciferian elements to these secret societies, and all the people in power get to power through the secret societies,
That's
such
not
as
true.
Skull and Bones, which created
Not true.
the CIA. It is true. At
No,
one point,
not everyone in the government is part of those organizations.
there are various one. There's all kinds. They're in every college. They're everywhere. You don't get to any place in power without playing the social game and there's a whole occult underworld, a different class system. You don't understand how the world works at all. It's like, my God, dude.
I do understand it.
You
So,
don't.
want to
You
say
don't
that
do any
my
research. I'm telling you all this stuff. You don't know anything about this.
You guys are
Hold
clueless.
on. You want to say that my government, the German government, are all satanic and are also in those.
Dude, you know
organizations.
Hitler is famous for being.
I don't talk
believing in
about
the
Hitler.
occult.
Hitler is not part of my government.
Yes, he is. Hitler
he's not.
is. Hitler
I'm
was
living in
the
Germany,
Fuhrer of
not the
Germany.
Third Reich. I'm
You
living
are.
in Germany.
You are a Third Reich. You are a Hitler follower.
I live in the Federal Republic of Germany, not in the Third Reich or whatever happened.
Your
before.
ancestors voted for Hitler and loved Hitler, and
No,
you
they
killed
didn't.
Jews.
Yeah, Hitler and his people killed Jews, but not my ancestors, and not me, and not our government right now.
So my ancestors
Heil
owned
Hitler.
slaves. That means that I own slaves too, and I am racist.
Yeah, I mean, all Pimas, are you American?
Of course he is.
Yes.
So you are a slave owner now, and a native Indian genocide guy, whatever.
You are the only only type of person on this panel to drop nuclear weapons.
Exactly. You are the
a
one
mass
responsible
murderer
for
beyond belief.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You are responsible right now. You are
No, the difference
one
between
guy.
P. Mars and the average American citizen is that P. Mars has the courage to speak out against these things. The average American citizen doesn't. And so they are guilty. They are equivalent to those things you just said. P. Mars, no, because he's speaking against it.
I'm also speaking against all the government of the previous German.
Yeah, we're aware of it now, and we are sorry that we weren't on our watch earlier and we let things happen. But now we know, and we're openly open, because open needs to be defined now. Like level needs to be redefined, but openly speaking against it.
So, I would openly speak against Hitler or anything bad happened in our history, but that doesn't mean that our government right now is satanic or evil or whatever. I mean, the CDU is the reigning party, and they are pretty sketchy, yes, because they are Catholics. But That doesn't mean they
Yeah,
are
that's gonna be
evil and they are not evil. They
How
are.
do you
they are
think
kinda dumb.
those in power make these decisions that affect these lives, make people homeless, kill people? They do it because they've been trained in a satanic
Who is
cult,
making people
and
homeless and killing
death has
them?
been a part of the cult life for them, so they can make these decisions and not care about other people's lives, like skull and bones. It's death.
You
But
don't have to
about
be
what lives are
into
they
that. I
caring
don't
about?
care.
It's obvious, man. Like we're just dogs. They're gonna tag us with an RFID chip.
Think for yourself.
Oh, here we go.
Scooby Doo.
Well, they
Do you
refer to
have
us
the
as
tag
chattel.
right now?
Chattel.
I mean, I watched your debate with I don't know who it was anymore, but you talked. I think you talked about all this technology we will have in 5 years to which proves the mark of the devil, of the beast. I don't know.
It's here, man. We live in a beast system, and you guys are proof of
Yeah,
it.
but I don't have a chip in my body. I don't even have tattoos or whatever violates my body and my rights. I don't.
It's slowly creeping in.
I don't
can
have
agree with that.
a laser bout or whatever what the Hitman has.
You have a
So
chip.
how
You have a
am I
chip.
marked with the mark of the beast?
No one said you were. I'm saying it's coming.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
but you
and
said
you
it's here
said
when
that
I say
like
it's coming. Which one
10
is it?
years ago.
Pick one. It's here or it's coming?
That's like the second coming of Jesus.
It's
2000
voluntary.
years
Right?
ago, they said in one generation it will happen. Then after a few hundred years, they say it will happen. Whatever.
Why are you worried about that? Are you waiting for it?
Years.
Are you waiting for it, or why are you bringing?
I would love to for Jesus to come to me and reveal himself.
Why? He's not going to be in a good mood. He's not handing out roses. Why do you want him back?
I'm not saying that. My point is that you say it's coming with the mark, whatever. You say like in 5 years it will happen. In 5 years, nothing happens, and then you will say, yeah, well, it will happen in the next 10 years.
I'm not like you. I don't
always shift the
I'm not
time.
like you guys. I don't go back on my word. That's plenty of time.
In 5
Yeah, you
years,
did.
I will come to you again, and then you will say, well, they didn't it right now. They do it in a few years later, or in whatever.
To be fair, a lot of
years
people
later.
try to predict when the second coming was, and it's in the Bible itself. We won't know. We will know when the time is near, but we won't know the exact time.
Correct.
But the problem is
Just remember, if you see him, he's a Jewish zombie. Go for the head.
Yeah, yeah, right. But countless people over the last 2000 years said the end is near, the end is coming, Jesus is coming, whatever. There are entire sects who kill themselves because they think the end is now. There are the people, the Jehovah Witnesses. They are
Never gonna happen.
claiming every 10 years the apocalypse is coming, and after nothing happened, the leader said, "Well, we just were mistaken. Whatever, we made a mistake.
Miscalculated the
Now
date,
in
yeah.
10 years it will happen. Whatever.
you know
They
what
take money from all the people for like give us the money, then you will be saved or whatever. And then those are rich.
Yeah,
but
Wait. Are you talking?
and nothing happened.
Are you talking about climate change there? Is that climate change you're talking about?
Yeah, just like that. Jesus
That
is
sounded
like
a lot
climate
like,
change, yeah.
sounded a lot like climate change. You're talking
The
about.
Bible is like climate change, yeah.
Prophecies which were made and never fulfilled. And
Sophie, you just
every
answered
time-
the question. You
Like-
just
like-
answered the question.
Like
You
Al
said,
Gore's documentary. Where he,
but Sophie, you just answered the question. You said those people were doing that form of prophecy and extorting people financially. That proves that they're not the
Yeah,
ones
but
calling.
that is only a part of all the people who do that.
All I'm telling you is there are a large.
Did you know 2012 the Earth was supposed to
That was according to the
be
Mayans, though.
destroyed or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
right?
I agree.
And nothing happened.
Yeah, I
Remember,
actually
the man of God say Jesus is coming angry, so he's not gonna be happy. Maybe
He's
he
not.
present himself at last night and told him, "Oh, when I'm coming in hot," you know.
he's not going to be happy because there's a lot of government chills. There's a lot of people who are selling out against the poor, against the oppressed. There's no voice. Everybody is a slave. Even the leaders of the world are enslaved.
What are you going to do about it, man of God?
they're not allowed to tell the truth, and this is by God's design.
What are you going to do about it to change this instead of whining about it?
You asked me a few minutes ago what I can do to change, and I told
And you never answered. You never
No,
answered.
I said we can't because channels like yours that claim to be open are not.
No, it's not my fault. I'm just one person in billions of people. Don't blame me. Talk about what are you going to do. Don't put me in the equation. I asked you.
Mind of God, go to Non Sequitur Show, go to Red's Rhetoric or Fight the Flat Earth or whatever channels with a few thousand subscribers. Go there, talk there about it. You
I've
will
already
reach
done
more
that.
people than by some random dude. No offense, Jose. You will reach more people by that.
I talked about prophecy. I've talked about flat Earth. I've talked about the mark of the beast. I don't need to revisit it. They've already had me 3 or 4
So
times.
then, where's the problem? You already did what you.
Well, you have to be consistent.
now-
The devil is consistent. We
Why
need
are,
to be
why, are they,
consistent too.
why are they not censoring? And they have a much bigger platform than Jose, but Jose is. That's what I'm finding weird.
Don't ask me, bro. I
censoring,
asked you what are you going to do,
Oh
and you
my
keep going
God.
back to me. Are you
Why-
in love
why
with
did
me?
not
Do you have a
Secular
crush
allow
on
me
me
to
or
talk
something,
about-
bro?
Why does
Can
it
I
not
ask you this question?
Do you
Do you
love
have a
me?
crush on me, man of God? What's wrong
I mean,
with you?
I don't understand the point of
Gotta
my note,
investigate
because
you.
Jose, you said that you can't speak about all topics, and he wants to say that the other channels do that, but they do that. They don't do that. They don't
I'm
talk
the brain.
about
I'm
everything.
the authority. I'm the one behind top of the chain because man of God keep bringing my name to the attention. Wow. I'm Illuminati.
Jose, do you love me?
Superluminary.
I even I searched a few days ago for the Freemasons and how to join them, and then I read that their members have to say that there's an Almighty God, and then I said, okay, well, I won't
They're
say
Christian.
that, so I can't join them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I'm not a Freemason.
I couldn't ever join the
Are you-
Masons.
Maybe
Are you
I
aware
will
the first
party,
third
but-
party in America was the anti-Masonic party because it was discovered that there was Freemason
It was
conspiracy and like judges were
It's
letting
not
Freemasons
Freemason.
get away with murder in
It's a
court.
Freemason conspiracy. There are
What?
people who are in the brotherhood, and that I mean, that happens on a local scale. You know, when you celebrate Carnival or something like that, there are brotherhoods, or I don't know how they are called in German.
Fraternal order.
But they have organizations like only men can join them, and they have to wear like this crazy mask and whatever. And the Freemasons are basically just on a brotherhood on a larger scale, because they over the centuries they gained more members and more people who shared the same ideology or whatever. So I don't know. I don't understand what's bad about that. I mean,
Yeah, well,
only
if you got to research
because-
the history, like look into the anti-Masonic party, for example, and
Yeah, but-
there was judges who were Freemasons that were letting other Freemasons get away with murder and then declaring them innocent in
we
court.
have
And
proof
then
of
people, yes, look up the anti-Masonic
no.
party.
I don't want to look up it myself. You say, and you accused Shawn of that earlier. You say that they let people go away with murder. So I want you to give me proof of that.
Yeah, that's how the anti-Masonic party started. Was this based on this
Yeah, that
trial?
may
If you
be-
could just go look into the history of it.
That may be the point, but you have to give me the proof of that.
What are you talking
have
about?
to
I
do
just
that.
did.
don't
I
have
just
to-
did.
No, you just
Yes.
claimed it. You said that.
I don't think you
And
know what proof
that's all.
I don't know what does proof mean. I just told you, look up the
Like-
anti-Masonic part, the history.
Give me a YouTube video or something like that. Give me a source. Give me
I'm
an
talking about
article. Give me
history.
something where they talk. Yeah, or give me a
Yes,
history.
that's what I did. History. Look up the
I should- I
anti-Masonic
searched
party.
for that.
Look up. Do you have Google? Google anti-Masonic
and-
party.
and I didn't see anything.
You
Can
look
you
at
Google what
the
actually
history,
Earth is?
and it was based off this trial. where these-
Can you Google for me what the shape of the Earth is? Because
Yeah.
you can Google everything. I can type in that, and maybe I find something. But I want
that statement is great. Instead of going outside and looking at what the shape is, we go to Google. That's a perfect statement you just made right there. You can't just
Sorry,
go
you
outside and see that we're
you missed my point.
Nothing.
You missed my point. My point is I can Google everything and I can find everything to everything. If I want to find something
you
that's
find out
an argument, I will find it. But you say you have you make this claim and you have an argument for that or whatever. Give me the proof.
The proof is in the fact that we don't know why these wars are going on. Can you answer us? Why are they happening? You tell us. What is
the guy who got murdered? The guy who got murdered was named William Morgan, right? And like when you join Freemasonry, you have to swear an oath that if you reveal the secrets, they'll murder you or whatever. And he wrote a book. I forget the name of the book. I think I could find it. And he wrote a book revealing the secrets of Freemasonry, and they murdered him. And then the Masons who murdered him on trial got found innocent by a Mason. And then the public found out later that the judge of the trial was also a Mason. So a Mason let the Masons get away with murdering this guy for exposing Masonic secrets, and that's how they funded the anti-Masonic party in America.
That's one example.
Yep.
One example?
hold on,
What?
let me say something real fast. I just Googled Obama is a robot, and I got 22,800,000 results.
Great non sequitur.
Well,
I don't think you know what non sequitur means.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't. But I did provide proof of my claim. It's this.
I'm searching for
history of William Morgan.
Reading
I
about
just
it.
provided proof that Obama is a robot.
No, you didn't.
To meet with the blood earth.
You're an asshole, Schrodinger's cat. You're a murderer, glorified murderer. What you did there is a categorical illogical fallacy because no one expects anyone to take Obama as being a robot as a real thing.
Well, nobody would.
You're basically using
nobody
you're
would take
stealing
credit for
Nathan
being
Oakley's argument. That's how unoriginal you are and brain dead. Also, they don't let intelligent people join the military. Henry Kissinger said military men are military men are stupid animals to be used as.
You just insulted the entire military of your country.
Deal with that. A lot of them don't know what
are stupid.
doing.
Okay?
I was just quoting Henry Kissinger.
No, fair enough. But on the individual level, obviously our military overall has very, very smart people, clearly, because they're doing things that you ballers don't even believe can be possible, like flying a drone in a straight line, which is preposterous.
Oh my gosh!
When did I say I don't believe that?
Nobody cares about your drone.
No, we're never going to solve this debate because the ballers are just technology deniers.
Go and do it. What? Shut up.
I just Googled Henry Kissinger is a robot, and
when did I deny that the drone can?
Not you, Sophie. I'm just having fun with the other clowns on the panel.
Yeah, when did
we can do this?
I mean, you are talking for them and you are lying, obviously.
I would say there's no point in even debating it because we know we're not spinning, so it's kind of like laughable at this point.
But we do know it. We have an experiment made or with Bob Noodle's supervision or whatever. We have an experiment. We proved it.
Are you calling him Noodle on purpose, or you just don't know how to pronounce it?
He even admitted that he proved it.
I trust Bob Noodle.
He turned his back and said, "Oh well, it's not the Earth moving; it's the heavenly energies, whatever."
I trust him as much as I trust Neal deGrasse Tyson.
What?
And Barack Obama and everybody else.
Yep.
I didn't know deGrasse Tyson. He's just a spokesperson.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's the problem.
You guys think that we put them in a pedestal, him and Bill Nye? We don't care. Just faces or TV.
He could say anything he wants. I don't need him to prove anything.
Yeah, we don't either. I don't need Bob Nodell to prove or disprove anything because I know that this building that I'm in is not moving one iota. I know that.
Yeah, but that's the problem. You don't understand how the
relative motion works.
You don't understand like your interpretation.
Go in a car. Mind of God, go in a car and drive at 60 miles per hour. Do you feel anything with when you're driving at that speed?
You guys are a joke, man. You guys are.
Frames of reference.
Answer the question.
It's all an act.
do you feel anything when you drive at a constant speed? Do you feel
I'm
it?
just hungry. I'm gonna eat a few ayoras. I'll be back in a second.
Yes, I do.
Still listening.
So you do. Okay, then you are the only person on the earth who does feel anything when if you are moving.
Great,
at the
I'm
same
special.
I feel
man.
some
I'm
too.
special. And so does Miss Kang. So good. Both of us
Yeah,
are.
I'm with him.
Okay, so you are lying. That's the
No, I
point.
told
You're
you the
lying.
truth.
No, this is my
You can't
experience. Not
feel
lying.
anything.
I know the difference between when I'm in my car and I'm sitting on my couch. Yes, I do. I do. 100%.
Okay, you are knowing that you know that you are moving because
Correct.
you can.
Correct. I do know that I'm in a car that's moving. Yes, correct.
Finish.
Yes. And if I
You
was
can
violently
let
on
me
the wall, I would
finish.
know that too.
Let me finish. You know that you are moving because you can see the street below you. You can see the trees going behind you, whatever. But if you would close your eyes, I mean, you shouldn't do that because you're driving. But if you would close your eyes and you would move it, sit in a train, you move at a constant speed, like 100 miles per hour, and you close your eyes, you wouldn't feel anything.
Sophie, how far?
The only way you feel anything is because there are humps in the train tracks and something like that.
How fast is the Earth moving? And again, what do you know about that? Quote the numbers. How fast is it rotating or spinning and then moving through this Milky Way? Do you know?
Let's
say at the equator.
Spinning around at the equator, it was like in retard units like 66,000 miles per hour or something like that.
Okay.
What's the problem with that? It spins at a constant rate, and I just explained to you that you can't feel constant movement. You don't feel that. You only feel acceleration or negative acceleration.
Is it orbiting the sun in an elliptical pattern?
Yes.
Okay. So that is not constant.
The speed is constant, just because the how it's called.
We on the Earth feel it differently.
If you are moving, if you are moving, what?
Would we experience a difference if the path was circular, perfectly circular, or elliptical? We would, correct?
The path doesn't matter for the speed.
Okay, back that statement up. Why? Why do you feel that?
Because the change in velocity is tiny over time.
Okay, so that's your stance that the ellipse is a near circle, that it's effectively a circle.
Well, you've had this explained to you enough times, mate. You know,
Yeah,
you just take the piss now.
Wait, farmer, sorry, I didn't realize I actually wasn't talking to you. Sorry about that.
You realize that
I'm having to listen to your inane questions.
I'm making a spot for somebody else. I'm dropping. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Shawn G. I'll keep listening.
Yeah.
Bro. I'll participate.
Thank you, Jose.
Jose, thank you for censoring, bro. Jose, thank you for censoring, man. Take care. Yeah.
Mine of God. Seriously. You realize that the Earth is orbiting the sun once a year. So you have, let's say, we have the ellipse is like 100 million miles long, and the Earth is moving that 100 miles a year, once a year. Sorry, you understand what I mean. And this is very slow compared to the.
No, fair enough. I was just asking. You're allowed to take that stance that it's such a mild movement. Fair enough in that direction, but the spin is violent. The rotation about its axis, and then the movement.
No, it's not. Holy fuck! No, it's not.
Like
15 degrees an hour. How the hell are you going to notice that?
Go take a tennis ball, put it on your desk, and watch it move once per 24 hours. You won't see it. You will not. There are like you can buy it for like 50 euros or something.
We're talking about experiencing it. We don't know that.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
You have you can buy it in a I think even online a magnetic aperture. I don't know with a moving globe, and some of them rotate, and they rotate once per day. So you won't see that. You will come back a few hours later, and you will say, "See, oh, it changed," but it's so.
We both agree we can see it because we're seeing the sun go away from us relative. That part is I'm talking about feeling it. That's the point.
Yeah, and you can't feel constant movement. I already told you that. You can't feel it. You can see it. You can experience it with other senses, but you can't feel it.
So the movement is so subtle that we can't feel it, and the only thing we have to prove is the pendulum that we're moving, even though it's moving within the reference frame of the spinning. That's the best you guys got for our movement, right?
I'm not an expert on the pendulum.
Okay, but you guys are comfortable with the fact that we reject that as
the amount of God can the human body detect movement or changes in acceleration?
Both.
No.
Both? So no? Okay, you're wrong. That's the problem.
Correct. Yes,
You're wrong.
Like
the
we
movement is
just
so
said.
subtle that we can't feel it, but for some reason we have to account for it when a sniper is shooting a bullet over a mile away.
Yeah, because this a bullet works.
Because it's so subtle. It's so
I didn't
subtle.
claim that. Well, how fast is a bullet moving?
Yeah.
Well, Mies, they would say anything powered has its own quote unquote reference frame, so it doesn't even really quote care about anything that's going on, which is ridiculous, but that's what they would say.
But
no, if it's under control, like a plane or a helicopter, that's under control. Adjustments can be made. If it's ballistic, it can't.
You
it has
shoot
to do with the
bullet
speed
and the bullet travels
also.
at speed of sound or whatever, really fast. So and it's accelerating. So of course changes because it's not traveling at a constant speed and it can't make adjustments like a plane or a rocket could.
No, I mean that's if you guys want to believe that, credit to you, man. That's absurd, but I mean you're allowed to believe whatever you want.
You're just established that you don't understand how the
I'm
human
not the
body
type that will go and hurt other people physically because they have different beliefs. If you want to believe we're spinning, go for it.
If I meet you in person, I'll beat the mess out of you, man. Just because.
Yeah, we know that because you're a government shill. You're a Satanist.
Bring it. What you got?
I'm a government shill.
It's like
So, anybody got any proof of a flat Earth then?
290 pounds.
I want to see one proof. I
Oh,
have
just one. Go on.
Just one.
Fill up your
I'm a
bathtub
government
with
shill.
water, measure that it's level, and know that that will carry in the extrapolation.
So,
That's it.
About to
level
write
does not
a
mean
book on your face.
level
So-
does not mean flat.
Why do you have to prove it when it looks flat? You just look. It looks.
Yeah.
flat.
Okay.
Well, you look stupid. Do you have to prove that you're not stupid? You look stupid. So.
Doesn't look.
I share something. Could I share something?
Yeah, go ahead.
It looks flat.
The more other
I have to
Carlos,
The
welcome.
man guy looks like he owns a 7-Eleven, but does he have to prove that he doesn't?
Carlos, hit us with a Jewish joke. Carlos, hit us with one Jewish joke just to like go against the government.
I told you it's a cheap shot.
Okay, perfect, good. All right. Credit to you
Because
for,
it looks
for speaking
flat
up.
doesn't mean it is flat. Jesus Christ, man.
Well, that's the pinnacle of their argument. It looks flat, so it must be. I mean, fuck's sake.
Of course. But I prepare something and will come back to it later, so you can
It
talk.
looks flat, and everything that speaks out against it being flat is ridiculous. That's our stance. A lot of us.
You got to admit the baller arguments are not very good.
They're
all
stupid.
really complicated.
Dude, just
I-
because you don't
because
believe
you
something
are-
doesn't mean it's not true.
Because you are not so smart enough to understand something, it doesn't mean it's true. I mean, I am not smart.
The sun rising and setting is complicated, is it?
Hold on.
You know.
Hold on. I don't understand how cars work. I don't understand how the engine works. I can't repair it myself. Does it mean the car doesn't work when I want to drive it?
There's no
Or
religion
I'm
that
not smart
doesn't
enough
know how
to, I don't know, build. I'm not an electro engineer or something like that, and yet my PC does work. So how
Poor analogy, sir? What I don't know what you're trying to get with that.
you say you don't understand something, or it's too complicated, or whatever?
We never said that. We're being sarcastic, man.
Okay, then I take it back, but it's still a.
It's ridiculous. We're not spinning, man. That's absurd. What do you mean? That's
I
crazy.
already told you.
We're spinning like the slurper machine.
All of
Can you
science.
explain the sunrise then? Can you explain the sunrise if
all
we're
your-
not spinning, but the sun doesn't change in angular size throughout the day ever?
We
Oh,
we
and the sun
can give
never
an
goes
example
below
where
the
it does
clouds.
actually change. We've been told that it does change by people who've done those observations.
No, it doesn't fucking change. It
Yeah,
does
it does.
not change. And we've seen it before.
Yeah.
It's not small and
There's
local.
many-
It's a long way away, and it's set because the Earth is spinning.
How many different
There's
observations?
nothing else that explains it.
How many
Doesn't
different
change.
observation points and what distance did the sun travel for you to come up with that? The sun doesn't change in angular size.
Because you
Well,
can
people
get a
just
fucking
take photos
solar
of it
filter
through
and
the day.
film it all
For
day.
the sun- yeah,
Get
exactly.
get a solar filter and film the sun for 24 hours, and you will see that it does not change
Well-
in size. It's that fucking simple.
Okay, so Rumpus has told us that there's an example of somebody who did that, and it did change. There was
By
a
how
difference
much?
in the size.
By how much? By how much, man of God?
I don't know. He said he all you can describe it in terms of number of pixels. So, but the issue with that is
so how much percentage is that? And how's that
Right.
compared to a sun going over a flat Earth?
no, that's the thing. We'd have to first know how far away the sun is from this observation point to know what's expected first of all, which we don't know what the distance of the
It's
sun
not
is
a 30.
away.
It's not a 300,000
You don't know.
miles.
And
Yeah,
then-
but the issue with that is that it with a 93 million mile sun, it cannot change one iota, so it goes against the heliocentric model. It's
so
dismissed.
how does the sun illuminate the bottom of clouds? How does
We've
the sun
already-
travel below the clouds?
There's a hole in the flat Earth.
I mean, mind of God, you say something about the model we propose, and
Yeah.
you say it doesn't work, although it does work in our model. We can explain it in our model.
No, the fact that you guys are using
Explain it.
things like illuminate from the bottom, which is only possible with a local sun, is ridiculous.
Yeah, so okay.
You say okay. You say local sun, right? So if you guys look at that,
Local
what is
sun.
it? A Baumgartner jump or whatever?
It's a
Yeah.
local sun. There's not parallel light rays coming from that hitting the
No,
Earth.
mind of
Not.
God, you don't understand.
But you see how
You
far
say
the sun is away when he does that jump, and you look down and you see the clouds. You see exactly how far the sun is away. So there's no way it can be below the fucking clouds.
exactly. If you are flying in
No,
a plane,
check out Chris Berry's demonstration on that. It can be done on a flat Earth.
The sun is a
Hold on.
hologram.
hold on. Go in a plane, fly above the clouds. You will see the sun above the clouds. Other people on
And
the
then jump
ground
off the plane.
will see it below. So how does it work?
Yeah, that's a great proof. The sun and the clouds are acting locally. You're actually helping our stance. What are you doing?
No. I
Oh,
said
good God.
they are. You
Hey,
both
I gotta
people
go,
at
man.
the same time
I'm
see
gonna
it in
chill.
different places.
Sophie, I have a great video. I have a good little clip
See ya,
on my
brother.
channel where
I don't
where I'm
care
showing-
about the video.
One second.
Explain to me how the sun can be in two different places at the same time. It can't.
No, but you just said you're looking at it from two different perspectives, right? Two different orientations, right?
You are above the clouds and see the sun way ahead of you and above the clouds. And the other guy on the ground sees the sun below the clouds. So how does that work?
I mean, you tell me. I don't have all the
I
answers.
don't know.
You tell
I
me.
mean, it can't work.
You're
on
the
a
one who's making the claim. Why don't you answer? Why don't you investigate
I'm
your own?
not just making a claim. Everyone can testify to that.
Great, but don't be ridiculous to think that we're gonna go and say that that's an absolute rigorous proof that the sun cannot be in a particular orientation over a flat Earth. That's insane.
Yeah, but you
You're
propose
insane.
the sun is local, and we can counter that by.
I have a great video on my channel showing the sun literally embedded in clouds, and you can literally almost see it wrapped around.
my
Yeah,
God,
so
you know,
why doesn't plane
That's
fly in
how
it?
cameras
Oh
and
my
lights
God.
work.
Oh.
The sun
I
and the
mean-
clouds are operating on a local level, not a 93 million mile level. That's preposterous.
So how
Yeah,
No,
but
what you just said is preposterous. You haven't got a fucking clue.
No, I have the
Yeah, I
video.
mean, I just explained why that doesn't work.
Yeah, how
just
far is the
insane.
sun from the Earth?
It's not 90. It's not even on the order of 93
Well,
million.
how
Let's
where
say
is it
it's
then?
3,000 miles away, or let's say it's like 100 miles away. It doesn't work that it's at the same time in two different places. So
Here's where we need you guys to be intellectually
Have
honest
you
and say
looked at
your procedure for measuring it. Your procedure for measuring it is assuming something about some other heavenly.
okay.
It's ridiculous.
So if you want to measure, let's say you want to measure the distance to another city, how would you do that? Would you go with your like
How far away is the city?
like a ruler or something like that? Would,
How far
would
away
He's
is
a
you
big
go
tape measure, wouldn't he?
and measure the hundreds of miles or the, let's say, 10 miles? Would you measure that by yourself, or would you, I don't know, use GPS or whatever? So
A drone.
we can't obviously
Yeah, a drone. That's what I would do. That's a
to
good point.
something. We have to make measurements with optical equipment and whatever.
No, Carlos just answered the question. I would use a device that can, or an object that can fly over those two things, and then use, different.
I was joking.
On top of that. Why?
I
That's
mean,
the most intelligent thing you can in this hangout.
say you use an object to fly over it and measure it that way. We have like you know, we have satellites flying over the Earth. We have the Discovery satellite, which flows through our solar system. Could use that by that logic. By that logic, we could use that. Seriously.
I'm speechless.
Yeah,
Steady,
buddy.
Sophie, you're up against space deniers.
You guys caught me, and I'm speechless. I don't know what to say.
That's excellent.
He doesn't believe in satellites.
Honest thing he said today. The first honest thing.
What's that?
You said you just said the first honest thing today.
Is me stating the government is satanic? Is that honest or dishonest?
That's dishonest.
Yeah,
That's
it
a
is.
blanket
I
statement.
said that earlier.
That's
So
a blanket statement. Be more specific. That's very vague, man of God.
I mean, I find evil all around the world, everywhere, every corner of
There are
planet.
multiple governments, multiple people involved in the government,
And they're all
there are
working in
multiple
coordination.
religions.
Yep.
So every single person that is in the government is demonic. They're working for the devil. They do satanic rituals. Is that what you're saying?
If they're aware of the evil and not calling it out, correct.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Again, I don't know. I can't speak on every single human, but if they are
If you don't
aware,
know,
Carlos,
I mean-
let me ask you a question. Carlos, let me ask you a question. If you work for a corporation, you see that they're doing manipulation, they're stealing, they're doing something illegal, and you don't call it out, are you not now aligned or part of the problem? Or like, what is your moral, ethical stance on something like that? Let's say you see them, they're stealing, they're doing something illegal, they're taking advantage of people. What, if you don't say anything, does that make you a part of the problem, or are you innocent according to God because you claim to be a Christian? What would God say?
Which one?
Yeah, which one? And okay,
No,
let's
Carlos
say
claims to be a Bible-believing Christian. I'm asking him.
I would like to you then to prove that Satan and God exist.
I can't do that. So
No.
So okay,
Come
then stop pretending that they exist.
no,
Don't
I can't
use
do
them-
that.
don't
Of course.
use them as
I'd
argument.
like you to prove that they don't.
Yeah, you
Can
can't.
do
You
that?
can't,
No, hey,
you
hey,
can't prove that they
stop.
don't unless you search all the dimensions, the entire search space. of the world.
Hold on. First, you can't prove that unicorns don't exist, so that's not an argument. And
Wait, say that once more about unicorns. What did you say? You can't what?
you can't prove that unicorns don't exist.
You
So
can?
You can prove
Can't,
that.
cannot.
So
You cannot
He
or
said
can?
you can't.
cannot
Yes,
prove
you
that.
cannot prove.
So I don't need to prove God or Satan or whatever.
No,
So-
you don't have to, and we don't have to prove to you that he does. That's not. We can't do
Yeah.
that. That's too big.
Yeah, so okay. You can do it. You can't do that.
But
so
if the Earth is flat, some God
let-
exists. That's
let me
common
finish.
sense.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Okay. I accept that you cannot prove God and Satan or whatever. I accept that. But you can then use that as an argument, because everything we use as an argument is in some way kind of form effect or provable or whatever. So
Yeah.
if I say the Earth is curved because we have this video or something like that, we have that video, so I can use that as an argument. But if you say, yeah, they are all satanic, by not being able to prove that Satan even exists,
Yeah.
that you can't use that
Sophie,
argument.
can I ask you a question? Not to put you on the spot. I genuinely appreciate your question. 'Cause
Ask
anything
the
related to God is good. But you agree that the effect of gravity is one of the main things that give you guys a sense that it's real, right? So you can see you guys are stating that the effect of gravity is what makes it real. So what we're saying, and me in particular, is that the effect, like what Satan would do if he existed, is everywhere around us. However, people who genuinely say that there seems like there's too much of Satan, I sympathize with people like that, because that is true. There's just evil everywhere. That's a fair statement. But
that's human nature.
one second, I'll finish the statement. So using your own logic, saying that the effect of gravity is enough to prove that gravity exists, I'm telling you that the effect of Satan is abundant on Earth right now.
But there is no Satan.
Good for
I
you.
accept that argument to an extent,
Okay,
because
great. That's fair enough. But proving God, we cannot prove an entity that exists in the spirit world without being in the spirit world. And even if we were in the spirit world, going through all the dimensions and exhausting all the different search spaces, with one would think there would be quote unquote infinite number of them. So it's not provable. That's why the God of the Bible, last statement, God of the Bible always requires faith. That's why he's keeping this debate slightly ambiguous, because he wants us to have faith.
because at the same
God is not a God of confusion. So
with the same
Mind of fog.
with the same logic, I can say, okay, then Zeus made us because he's whatever on the Olympus or something, and I can't prove him. So he exists, and
more like that's Zeus.
And I can't prove it, but it's true. That's the same logic, and it doesn't work.
No, we have like I said, you missed my point. We have faith. There's evidence of God's existence. There's more evidence in these days of Satan's existence or an evil entity. But that's what it is. That's where a sober-minded person, anything beyond that becomes a business.
Okay, so let us pause this topic right now.
Like 7-Eleven.
I wanted to go to shortly back to the topic with the it looks flat. I wanted to share something.
Sure. By the way, Sophie, is this Zinder or are you somebody else?
What do you mean?
Are you Zinder or are you another individual?
No, he isn't Zinder.
Okay, sorry. Keep going.
Hey guys, so I'm
because he talks like that.
No, I was just wondering because Zinder
Hang on,
owes
guys.
life is short $5,000 for the object disappearing bottom up.
Okay, hey guys, so this was gonna happen. Sophie's gonna go ahead and present. I'm gonna share his screen, and then after he's done, I'm gonna end this hangout and start a new one.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So are you sharing me right now?
Yeah, everyone can see.
Okay.
I'm dropping off before he starts that. I appreciate y'all. I'll be listening. Thank you.
All right, thanks for being on.
So you see this line here. It's obviously straight and it looks flat, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
the black one.
You know, it's flat, but it's on a circle.
Nice.
Oh, dude, you got me, man. That's money. Do that again. That was real good.
What?
Do that again.
You just shut it down.
Damn it. Okay, stop. I stop presenting myself and just do it.
So, Sophie, what's the smallest body of water that we can measure a curve? Let's end this right now. What's the smallest body that we could go and use modern day technology to measure the curvy water?
I mean, the smallest.
It depends on the accuracy of the instruments you're using and how calm the water is. And
yeah,
the
but you guys have done this, right? Science is so, accomplished a lot. So I'm asking.
Even the Bedford level experiment, something like that, didn't it prove? Oh, okay.
What about the Pontchartrain Causeway?
The what?
By the way, you guys, and I'm just saying this in a friendly way. If you guys use the Pontchartrain Causeway as Earth curve, you're destroying your whole argument. So don't do that, man.
Why?
No, we're not.
Please elaborate.
Stanley's observations clearly show the curve.
If that is your evidence of actual Earth curve, the Earth is flat. I'm sorry.
Okay, elaborate. How come is it not?
Fit a curve through that. Fit a curve through that, and then that's the arc. Fit a curve through that, and that's the arc that we're going to use over that distance to then measure all other forms of Earth curve. So go for it.
All right, guys.
Explain how that hurts.
I hate to end this, but I'm going to go ahead and start this panel over. I'll give everyone an opportunity to jump on.
Okay.
The link will be in the chat. I'll give you guys probably like 10, 15 seconds to get yourself back in the chat to get the link if you want it. And I'll put the link out in the chat for everyone.
Whoever gets there first gets that free Slurpee.
Exactly. All right. Thank you, guys.
All right.
All right. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and start over a new hangout. I kind of see why Jose does that now. I do think it's a good idea. So we're going to go ahead and get that taken care of. Hangout's already ready to go. And just pull that one up. There it is. All right, go get this link out to you guys. So here we go. Link's going out. My thoughts, Jose. My thoughts on that was wow. I honestly think that I think Montagata was right in a lot of his cases. Problem is that he collaborates a lot of different things going on in the world to that, and it doesn't really doesn't make much sense to me to do it. But to each their own. As long as everyone keeps it, respectful, I can, keep shut up and be doing my own thing over here. Again, thank you for not making me interject. I'd like to say, Lodi, touche, my friend, touche. You won that one. But yeah, other than that, guys, thank you again. I'm gonna go ahead and put the link out in the chat now, and then, like I said, let's let you guys have at it and enjoy. Thanks. Oh, and I'd like to thank everyone for coming through. Sorry, Jose couldn't jump on or couldn't do his live stream, and I had the opportunity to step in for him. So I do appreciate everyone being here, and I will be doing a different live stream probably a little bit later on. For anyone who hasn't seen my live streams, I kind of run my panel a little bit stricter, I guess. Demanding with the respect and topic-based stuff, but it's always open panel, open topic. I just kind of talk a lot more on my normal streams, whereas I'm trying to kind of keep out of it this time. How you guys doing? Thank you for joining me again.
You do some fascinating stuff on your streams.
Well, I like Jose's style where he just lets you guys go. It's kind of rough for me because I'm trying to figure out when I need to jump in. If at any point any flat earthers are on here and there's like one of you, just if you guys just hit me up in the chat, like think you're getting ganged up on, let me know. I'll calm it down. I'm not used to having a completely full panel and it kind of just letting everyone go. I kind of like to talk a lot, so this is new to me. So
It can get a bit much sometimes.
I appreciate it. Thank you for letting it roll like that. It's kind of cool for the difference. Really quick, there was a username called Loti says Chonji is a midget.
Yeah.
And he was like deleting people and
Yeah.
banning real people, and that was unfortunate because that way you're gonna lose a few subs. But
No,
it's okay,
I was in there and I was catching it as he did it. That's Lodi, regular Lodi. I kind of put a rule out. Anyone can ban Lodi. I don't normally wrench his channels, just for the fun of the game. But he got past me on one and modded him. One of his names got modded. So in the background, he's unmodding himself, and then he started timing people out. But I went back there. I caught it. Fair play. If I'm gonna let everyone mute him, if he finds a way in, he has every right to do what he did. So I made sure I got everyone he messed with their wrench, because those are people that were just coming in. So they all have their wrench now, so they're good to go. And again, like I said, Lodi, touche. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, and everybody, I know there's a lot of people in the chat that haven't subscribed yet, and they're just checking you out because I did a little bit of a share or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But guys, subscribe because he runs a really good hangout in the afternoons, and it's more controlled. There's usually not a full panel. It's 3 or 4 people, but it's really good he got a lot of time to let you guys talk and talk very civil. I enjoy it a lot. That's the show I listen while I'm at work, plug my headphones and enjoy the civil discussion. It's really good, so you check it out.
Yeah, thank you,
Who
Jose.
made it to the
Thank you.
hangout first? I'm ready to redeem their prize.
Soapy actually made it in first. Soapy.
All right.
And last, before I jump out, I want to jump out to
flavor.
give more people to jump in really quick.
Okay.
Hopefully, I can resume my show tomorrow. As for right now, I was just checking, and the internet is just not connecting. I live in a isla. There's a big house. The owner of the house, and he got 2 tiny houses in the back. I own one of those little tiny houses. So the Wi-Fi is from the owner of the house. We just pay a monthly rent with water, electricity, Wi-Fi included. But I don't know what happened if he disconnected before he went to work. So I'm not going to be able to get a hold of him until midnight that I get home from work tonight. Hopefully I can catch him. If I see the light on, I'm going to knock the door like, hey, check on your Wi-Fi. But hopefully it's resumed for tomorrow, or I'll resume my shows as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I'll jump in out, so anybody else jump in.
Yeah, and like I said, Jose, I messaged you in the Skype. We'll talk later, and if you want to use it as an option, just let me know.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate
no
it.
worries.
All right, see y'all.
Thanks, Jose.
Cheers.
Okay, Truth Army, you wanted to ask me something?
Say again?
Yeah.
You wanted to ask me something.
Oh, no. Carlos was asking who got in here first, so I let him know you had made it in. But yeah, like on what Jose was saying, yeah, I run a different stream, whereas it's like I said, I just talk a little bit more. But Jose and or basically my stream, like I emphasize on the respect level of flat Earth globe back and forth. So if anything that would be different from this panel we have or how it is today so far is that I would probably interject a lot more to keep it a little bit more, keep the personal completely out of it. But again, I'm enjoying this platform where it's kind of just letting you guys do your own thing. Again, if anybody feels, like they're getting ganged up on, just, let me know in the little chat right here and I'll diffuse it and get everything calmed down again. Because I do know what happens and I don't want to jump in too soon. And you know what I mean? And because this is I'm running this one almost as much as like Jose's as I can see. So again, I'm not going to be as good as Jose's doing it. So with that respect, just enjoy yourself, guys, and have at it.
Yeah.
No worries.
About 1 minute. I want to address P. Mars calling me a murderer. Anything that I did or did not do during my 22 years of service, none of it was murder.
You don't have to explain yourself here. I'm telling you right now, you don't have to explain yourself.
No.
But for anything, thank you.
Right. Well, it's not the first time I've been called a murderer. I think he just does it maybe to get a rise out of me, which it doesn't really do. But a lot of good people, spent years and years. I did 9 deployments in 22 years. As an average of it being 6 months.
What's up, sir?
Right. I missed multiple Christmases, my children's birthdays, and in the service to my country, if somebody died at my hand, it was in service to my country. So
maximum respect for that. You're braver than a lot of us.
I mean, I'm not a fan of the military exactly, but I see the reason we have that because, if someone attacks us, we have to defend us. And
Indeed.
if we have problems like in Syria, the ISIS or something like that, we unfortunately have to go there, and we unfortunately have to kill bad people, I want to say.
Right.
So
and actually,
that's fucked up, but we have to, unfortunately.
My actual last deployment was in Germany, so at Stuttgart.
Oh. Sorry,
So,
shooting at net, you are a little bit, your volume is low, so
I tried to turn you up.
Germany is a deployment now?
No, we have military bases here from the US.
I was at AFRICOM, which is stationed in Stuttgart.
Oh, okay.
So, a lot of us, we always 100% of the time agree with our orders? No, nobody does. But
that's service life, isn't it?
Right. So, call me a murderer. I mean, you're not going to hurt my feelings, but I just wanted to throw that out there that a lot of good people spent a lot of time away from what would otherwise be a comfortable life, to do this service.
Yep.
No, I'm afraid that sort of thing is part of his shtick. It's part of his outlook, I suppose, whatever his viewpoint. You're going to get that sort of thing from him, I'm afraid.
I'm surprised that he's let back on any channel after yesterday, just him yelling the N-word and Jew over and over. I don't know how anybody let Tim on anything.
You talking about P. Mars? That dude is a fucking piece of work.
Well, he agreed to debate me before I really knew who he was, and so I called up Non Sequitur, and they just blanket said no.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people who shouldn't be on Non Sequitur because they are really crazy.
But they have Russian vids on. They have Mind of God and all these other insane people. What does that say about you when Non Sequitur won't let you on?
Yes, yeah, exactly. exactly. Oh man, I love Russian Witz. I love his lines. He's the one who says bottom line is listen, listen. Am I right?
Yeah.
He was supposed to delete his channel.
Yeah, of course, but
Yeah.
and
Wait,
he was
what
supposed
happened?
to meet Reds at the launch, so he would even have get his plane ticket paid by the community, but
Wait, who was
he
supposed to
doesn't
get
want to,
there?
because if he goes there, he will be proven wrong, and he doesn't want to.
Wait, who was supposed to delete their
They
channel?
don't like being proven wrong.
Who was supposed to delete their channel?
Russian Viz was supposed to delete his channel
Yes,
if they went to see the launch, and they did the launch live, and he still was like, "Oh, it's fucking CGI."
Oh wow.
Of course, I mean they go.
Live CGI.
I mean, how? How?
Oh wow.
Even if they wanted to, I could see his point if the footage was pre-recorded, like they pretend to be live stream the recording, but they even address the chat and something stuff like that. So
wait,
it's not possible.
Hang on. Let me get this straight. Russian Vids
Yeah.
went to a launch. Like he didn't watch it.
No, he refused to go. No, they offered to pay for him. They offered to buy his ticket and everything.
Wow.
And go and watch a launch, and he refused.
I mean, I would
What
take
does
the
that tell you about
opportunity.
the guy?
I would love to pretend I'm a flat earther just so someone pay me the
Yeah,
plane
Red's
ticket to get
Rhetoric
around.
and Sean Hufford were gonna pay for his ticket to go there.
Yeah.
Well, shit, man. If they're paying for tickets, I want to go. I want to go see a launch. What the fuck?
I mean, I know I'm on the wrong side of the pond, but I would, if I was over there, I would say yes, please. If you want to pay for me to go, I'd love to go and watch a launch.
Exactly.
Bloody
I
hell.
mean, it's super awesome. And I just wanted to say we could see Red's face, but I forgot that it's like a nuclear weapon or something. So I don't know if that would be
his face
good,
is banned. It's banned by the Geneva Convention, I think.
Exactly. So I would have maybe to wear some high-profile sunglasses or something. So I won't
think
get
his
my
face
banned
is
by
mentioned in the
ourselves.
Antarctic Treaty.
I think he travels in something like the Pope Mobile.
I believe it's what they call a two-paper bag job.
Yeah, he has
One
to have
on
a
his
bag.
head and one on yours, just in
Exactly.
case.
Yeah, right. That's it.
Hey, B-Ball for Life, are you aware of the AT2 Productions Friday Night Veterans Show?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've never actually gone on there and listened, but I am aware of it.
Yeah, send me an email and I'll get you a link this Friday if you want.
Okay, it's just my time is so limited. Like right now, I'm waiting on my commander so we can come and do a height and weight. So it's like when I get on here, it's gonna be like real quick. You know,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't have a lot of time sometimes.
Yeah, I remember active duty. I know all about it. Thanks, brother.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, B-Ball, for real, those pictures you've been sending me, man, those are fucking some great pictures. Even regardless of the test that showed Chris Berry didn't do it right the first two times, just all your images that you've been sending me, man, those are some badass pictures.
Yeah, I've been trying to get him on there, man. You know, and you know what's funny? We were chatting back and forth about it, and he freaking disabled the comments on his second test.
Yeah, the last
where
one.
he had like a fucking spotlight.
Yeah.
Shining on the ground, which was reflecting off the ground.
Yeah, I messaged him and I told him I did give him the benefit of the doubt. I said, hey, thank you for doing at least an honest test, because I mean he showed his source, he showed everything. That I told him, I was like, all you've shown is that a high albedo index will cast a shadow, but we don't. That picture you saw, sure as heck didn't emulate a high sky, a high sun, with no clouds in that area, and clouds, over that mountain. That was it. And I was like, just everything you did just didn't add up to creating what we saw or explaining anything. All you've done is shown that you can do an honest test. And I had to give him that one. I had to give him, he wasn't hiding anything, and it wasn't just a picture. So I was happy with the fact that he did, show his experiment to us.
Hey, B-Ball for Life, where are you serving at right now?
I'm in Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
Fourth chapter.
Wow. Nothing wrong with that.
No
I served at Fort Bragg at JSOC, and then with the 10th Special Forces Group at Stuttgart.
Okay.
That was my two interactions with Army while I was serving Navy.
Hey, Schrodinger.
Yes, sir.
I'm a veteran, and I live in the other Fort Bragg, California. No, you know how confusing that is?
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Fort Bragg in North Carolina is just a ridiculously large base.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was at JSOC.
Is it bigger than Hood?
Oh no.
It's smaller than Hood. I think Hood's the biggest.
Yeah,
Hood's huge. If I am thinking correctly, but it's just ridiculously big and cumbersome. But luckily, I was on the JSOC compound, and we had our own DFAC, our own medical, our own everything.
Wow.
Nice.
So once you get on there, it was you did not have to be covered even outside. There was no saluting, and first names from E1 to 05.
Oh shit.
So
That's nice.
It was weird having me calling a 05 by his first name and having an E1 call me by my first name, and I almost. My first few days there, I almost called somebody out for not saluting me. And then I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. We're laid back here. It was a great place to work.
What did you retire as if you don't mind me asking?
I was a 03. So my first 11 years,
okay.
My first 11 years I was enlisted, and my last 11 years I was an officer.
Captain.
So, yeah. So I saw both sides, and actually it's probably a little bit better to be enlisted, except on the 1st and 15th.
Yeah, I just made E6 in November.
Okay. Yeah.
I made the mistake of complaining about having to salute too many people, too many officers when I was an enlisted man, my dad. And he said, well, yeah, just think about us. We have to salute all of you.
That's I have said that so many times. Like my first month after I became an officer, I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like so many people have to salute me. And then after that, you know how you do that little kind of you walk at an angle so that you don't pass close enough to have to salute.
Yeah.
I see it all the time.
Right. I started doing that as an officer so that I didn't have to.
Yeah, officers, enlisted men only have to salute officers. Officers have to salute enlisted men.
Everybody.
And officers.
Oh hell, we used to cross busy streets if we could find a butter bar with 2 armloads of groceries just so we could salute it.
Yeah.
What was cool is in Fort Rucker, Alabama, when they have a graduating class, they take their wings, the wings they were given, and they origami fold a set of wings out of a $1 bill, and then they put those wings on them. And if you're the first enlisted person to salute that officer, you get those wings. And I take $50 a day, man, after each graduation. You just stand outside the doors they leave and just salute every one of them.
In the Navy, we do silver dollars. The first person that salutes you when you get commissioned, you have to give them a silver $1.
Right on. Well, that makes sense. Navy is like all about treasure and coins and stuff like that. So
and apparently murder.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But wet murder.
Nice.
It's always nicer when it's wet.
Wet murder.
I saw a whole lot more people die than on our side than theirs, directly. So there's that.
I heard someone say we never kill people. We eliminate the enemy.
It's true.
Right. But at least we're really good at it.
Oh yeah.
If you got to be good at something,
That's why
I eliminate flat earthers.
That's what baffles me is these people go, "You're a murderer. You're a cold-blooded murderer. You're hired by the government." It's like, and you're insulting me? Are you crazy?
I forget who.
Like, not everybody that works for the government is fucking like in this cult. Everyone thinks that I don't know what his mind of God. He thinks like we're like this big cult and fucking demonic or PMARS, whatever his name is. Like we're
Technically, teachers are
people.
working for the government, right?
He thinks we're all paid to do what we're doing right now.
I would
Well,
love
that'd be
to.
nice.
Boys, have kids.
I want my damn shield check. Where is it? I don't-
Yeah,
Yeah, where's mine?
How is the U.S. government paying me? I live in Germany, so how are they paying me? I wonder.
I want to know where my check is. If I'm getting paid, if I was getting paid for this, I wouldn't be wearing hammer pants 3 days before fucking laundry day.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, if it's coming from my government in the UK, then I know that's why I haven't got it, because it's coming from that lot. They could have
The first time I was on Non Sequitur, my opponent said that Craig from Fight the Flat Earth and myself were both trained by the CIA. What the fuck? Craig's English.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
He was trained by the Royal Navy.
Yes, he was, and he gave up. He gave a great sacrifice as well.
Yes.
CIA isn't allowed to operate within the U.S. bounds anyway.
No, they're not.
That's true too. So maybe
not allowed to.
Hey, train us.
Well, they're not allowed to admit it.
Yes. Officially, they're not allowed to.
That's right.
Hey, Blue Marble Science, your channel's so good, you should be paid.
Thank you for that.
Fucking channel.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, good channel.
I love the whole
very good channel
donkey thing at the beginning. That's hilarious.
It's ironic that you said that. I was actually just looking at your channel, Blue, and I was actually just now putting the link to your new upload up in the chat right now. Jerk Alert Part 1 Journalism.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
it's a target-rich environment, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is.
That certainly is.
Hey, Blue Marble Science, did you see the email that I sent you about? I wanted to do this, just a series of silly videos where I challenge you to a redneck off. I was gonna say there's only room in the flat Earth debunking community for one redneck. And I was going to challenge you to a series of videos where we see who can be the biggest redneck.
Oh hell, you're gonna lose bad. That's all I can tell you. You're gonna lose bad.
I can fit a whole lot of chaw in my mouth.
I was gonna say if you guys needed a channel to get this,
My truck is bigger than your truck.
to get the decision down, I was gonna say I do it, but I don't know if I want to be involved in that.
It'd be hilarious.
Oh, I'm a cross between a redneck and a hillbilly. It doesn't get any worse than that, buddy.
I got a big ass truck and I got a four wheeler.
Oh
I got
yeah.
a lake with some bass in it. I can wear a wife beater. I'm just saying.
Hey, y'all, watch this.
Hold my beer.
Yeah, hold my beer.
Hold my beer, yeah.
Somebody hold my beer.
If you decide you want to do that, let me know, because that would be a lot of fun.
I think it would be a lot of fun. We really ought to do that.
Yep. I was actually going to get a police friend of mine to for one of my little skits to come arrest me, and that would be one of my things. Yeah, I'll shoot you another email. Reply to it if you decide you want to do that.
Yeah, which one are you using the channel email? I guess, huh? Blue Marble Science at Gmail.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think.
okay.
I think so. Mine is my actual name at Ymail.
Okay.
Cliff.overby@ymail.com. Yeah, I shot off one. God, must have been a month ago, but I'll shoot you another one here in a minute.
I'm thinking that might have been over on. I know I saw that somewhere.
Actually, hold on. Actually, I can do it while I'm sitting here. Actually, if you want to hear about redneck, I'm in a Walmart parking lot right now.
Damn.
See, I already got a point.
That's cheating.
Yeah, bluemarblescience@gmail.com. That's where I sent it.
Okay. It's in here
Here, I'll shoot you
someplace.
another one right
Yeah.
now.
It's not where Shawn Hawkins used to work, is it?
What's that?
It's not the Walmart that Shawn Hawkins used to work at, is it?
No. Shawn Hawkins. What? He's out west, isn't he? I'm in Virginia.
I can't remember where half of you guys are. It's too big.
It's a big ass country.
It just popped
Well,
up.
it is compared to the UK. I mean, we're one of your states, just about. You know.
When I was at Fort Bragg, I actually saw 2 times people being arrested in the Walmart there in that town.
Really?
And one of the Walmarts, anybody that's ever been in the military will remember this. Off limit areas. One of them was a Walmart.
Really?
Yep. Well, after sunset, you could go there during the day, but you couldn't go to the Walmart on Skybow Road in near Fort Bragg after sunset.
Oh wow.
It's like that's.
Yeah, I've never
it's
been
like that
stationed
bit
in
out
Fort
of
Bragg.
Aliens.
I've been to Fort Hood, Fort Drum, and Korea, and Hawaii, of course.
Yeah, I had a chance to go to Hawaii, but it was so close to my retirement date that I was thinking I wouldn't be able to do a proper job search from Hawaii. So I turned it down.
Yeah, it's expensive over here. Milk's like fucking $7 a gallon.
Yeah.
Damn.
I've got a buddy that's a P3 pilot, and he actually turned down commanding a squadron so that he could go back to Hawaii for his last tour.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, he did a tour there. They all learned how to surf. His kids learned how to surf, and they all loved it so much that, being a commander of a squadron is pretty much a pinnacle of a career, but he decided to go be an XO of a squadron in Hawaii rather than being a CO.
Hmm.
So it's got to be pretty nice.
Yeah, it's nice. We're going on a motorcycle ride tomorrow around the island. I'm gonna put my GoPro on there. Try and get some nice footage.
Cool.
Nice. It's going to make everything look like a curve, though.
I know. Yep. Fisheye lens.
It's all CGI.
Oh yeah.
The funny thing is, if you're doing a web chat with anybody, like a video chat, that's CGI.
Yeah,
of course.
My face is CGI.
Yeah.
All of this is CGI.
It
Everything.
all is. It's
Damn
red,
it,
blue,
we are
green.
all fake.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah,
your
we're all
eye,
fake.
your eye is, well, it's not CGI, but it's still not the actual image because it breaks down the colors and then rebuilds them in your brain. So
And
it's BGI.
and doesn't show it like
brain generated image. So it's BGI.
doesn't the eye like
All right, fellas. Hey, fellas, I
capture
gotta get out of here. My commander finally showed up, so.
All right, thanks
I
for
will
thanks
be
for
back
being in,
on
man. Thank you.
A little bit later.
Later.
All right, Sean G.
Yeah, I'll see you a little bit later on. Hopefully, I'll be on in a few hours again.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. Stay safe, bro.
I wanted to say that I have to go as well. Can I say some things quickly?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So first, can I plug my channel?
Oh, absolutely. Make sure and make sure to put it in the chat when you get a chance.
Yes, I try to copy my link.
Or if you type in the chat, I'll do it while you're talking. If you want to do it that way.
Just I don't know if those links work.
Okay.
The links work. So I just uploaded a video called "Questions to Flat Earthers," and since here are some of them, I would like to them to go there and answer some of the questions if they want to. So that's that. And if it's okay, I wanted to ask Schrodinger's cat.
Yes, sir.
You were on the Non Sequitur show, I think.
Yeah, I've been on 3 times.
Okay, so if you don't mind, how can you contact them to maybe debate someone. I mean, I'm unknown. Okay, now some people know me, but I don't know if
I'm sorry,
I'm.
my phone rang. Can you start over?
Yeah, I want to know if it's possible for me to debate on the non sequitur channel. What would I have to do if it's okay for you to share that?
Yeah. Actually, do you have a pen and paper?
Yes.
All right. Email me.
Yeah.
My first name is Cliff, CLIFF.
CLIFF.
Yep. Dot Overby, OVERBY.
Okay, sorry. I didn't catch up to that.
If you could put in the side chat right here, it'll probably be easier for
Yeah,
him.
that would be better.
Yeah. Let me. I can never figure out how to do this, but how do I get in the chat?
I can do it for you, Cliff.
Yeah, it's the blue one, and all the way to the left top. It's the blue one.
I got it for you, Cliff.
Yeah, it's cliff.overby, OVERBY, at ymail.com. Email me and I'll put you in contact with Kyle. He's the main host, and then Dave is the producer.
Yeah.
And they're pretty good. Sometimes it takes a few days for them to get back to you, but they'll get back to you.
Yeah, that's no problem. I mean, I just hope that I could talk, have a discussion with one of the flat earthers and see how I am doing. Because I watch many debates, and I sometimes I want to interject, like the flat earther says something, I want to call him out on that, but
Oh yeah,
the debater doesn't do it, and I'm like, yeah, couldn't you say there's
Yeah,
something? Don't get let them go with the
same thing
bullshit.
that got me into it.
Yeah, so I would love. I have to then look if it's the time issues here, because they stream when I have to go to sleep. But maybe I will. I am able sometime, maybe on the weekend. Yeah, I will contact you, and we see.
Yeah, they tend to stream. They tend quite early our time, don't they? Sort of 1 or 2 o'clock on a Saturday or a Sunday morning for us.
Yeah, I think I could do that. So then thanks, Truth Army.
I'm sorry.
For
I
everything.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
I didn't mean to yell. But I'm pretty satisfied with my couple debates performances. But I could have done better. But
Yeah, we all could,
did
but
okay.
the problem is for me, especially because I'm not as good as at speaking English as other people. So there will be some communication problems, I guess, but we'll see. We'll see.
Hey,
Have you seen some of the people they have on there?
Yeah,
Who
okay.
are supposedly English speakers.
Yeah, that's right. But
you
yeah.
speak English better than a lot of people I know.
Thanks. That's a huge compliment. Yeah, I wish I could get rid of my accent, but maybe won't in a few years or whatever. Okay, so thanks again. I will join you sometime later. I don't know.
All right, yeah.
But yeah, we'll see us.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. I'll be putting the link out in a little bit, and then it'll probably be in a couple hours that I stream. I'm gonna let this one kind of go a little bit longer, but most likely we probably have another 20-30 minutes for this stream, and then I gotta shut down and then get ready for the stream I normally run.
Okay. So see ya, guys.
All right, have a good one, Soapy. Thank you.
That racket.
Cylinder, you're kind of okay. Yeah, it was your mic, Cat. Sorry. You can unmute if you guys. Yeah, it's all messed up. You may need to back out and come back. I'm not sure.
Well, that got a bit lively there for a little while, didn't it? Until we swapped anyway.
Yeah, well, at least I got the whole attacking and yelling. That didn't happen for the second one. I mean, it happens. Again, like I said, I'm trying to know when to jump in and not to jump in, and just let you guys go. So I'm still getting used to this new way of doing the stream. So thank you guys again. I do appreciate you guys. I felt I streamed because Jose couldn't, and then but at the same time, everyone here had to come this way to keep the show going. So I do appreciate that, especially people in the chat that are here still. It means a lot. I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of impressed. I mean, today was probably the most people I've ever had watching at once, so it's kind of a little nerve wracking, but I do enjoy it, and I'm happy you guys are here. So I do appreciate that.
It's a bit of a strange beast because it's almost in two parts. If we're in here all talking and arguing or whatever, we completely miss that there's an entirely separate conversation going on in the side chat.
Yes.
And we did a couple of times yesterday in Jose's channel. Everything went quiet because I think there was something kicking off in the side chat. And I know I was sitting here reading that because it was like, oh, hello, they're going at each other's throats again. And it's almost two different shows. There's us chatting in here or arguing and slagging each other off. And then there's a totally different argument in the side chat.
But,
and you tend to miss it.
Yeah, I was me and a buddy of mine were talking about this the other day, and we were talking about maybe doing this as a joke, but we'll see how it works. Because a lot of stuff does happen in the chats that like people on the panel don't know what's going on because it's it's over in the chat, or sometimes there's stuff in this chat that's going on. Not everyone really understands what's going on. But me and a buddy were going to talking about streaming or like uploading or recording and then uploading. Me and him and maybe another person voicing the people in the chat, being individual people, and then having that argument or debate voiced, and then record like that. We were trying to figure it out. It's a lot more to it, but it was a good idea. So we're gonna see how that works out.
No, I can see where you're coming from. Yeah, that could work. Yeah, that could work. It might take a bit of practice.
Yeah, it doesn't even need to be like a serious thing. It could just find like the most ridiculous conversations we're seeing at any time there, and go from there. So we'll see.
I mean, that's why I started trying to come into these because all I could sort of interact with was the side chat, and that was quite often there was nothing to do with what was going on in the live chat.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to be in the live chat. So then I thought, well, bugger it, why don't I be in the live chat,
Yeah, it's definitely a way to get your point out easier than on the chat. For me, it's hard because I'm obviously like we're actually right now it's the easiest it's ever been. But normally I engage in these. I'm in the panel all the time talking to.
Yeah.
So I actually don't get a chance to keep an eye on the chat. So I kind of like the fact that I'm keeping on the chat here. But I also know that there's times where like someone will ask me something, and like I'm still looking at the chat and I'm not really paying enough attention to the panel, and then I'm like. What? Huh? Can you repeat that? And they're like, fuck. So it is hard. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do to do these live streams and keep everybody happy. But the one thing I do like it is fun. You know what I mean? I enjoy what I'm doing. So that makes it worth it. And then when go ahead.
Yeah, better than constantly hitting the mute button or something,
Oh yeah, I couldn't imagine. That's just ridiculous. And then the worst thing is, you can tell pretty much when these live streams do that because they won't show this page. The Hangouts that I'm showing right now, they don't want to show that because at any given time, if I went over, I'm not going to do it. But if I go over your name and then I have the whole mute and eject and all that stuff, everyone's watching me do that. So. You're accountable for what you're doing in here, especially with like the side chat. I have the side chat. Everyone will see it if I open it up. So it kind of keeps everyone accountable, and I like that a lot. I like that no one can go, I was muted on that channel when I went on there. I can go, no, you weren't. Let's go back to that stream, play it again. You can see you can see I didn't mute anybody that I didn't say I didn't. So I like the style. I back in the day we used to not be so everyone couldn't see so much of it, but I like it now. I like the fact that everyone is accountable for what they're saying, what they're typing. Especially like I share the YouTube chat on my OBS. So like when uploads and everyone can watch it again, they can see the whole chat right there, because sometimes it's
Yeah.
not. And I like that, because sometimes someone will say something in the chat that's just ridiculous, and I didn't catch it, and I catch it on a rewatch, or it's just things like that. It's just everything. I like it. I like this. Everything's transparent. Everyone can see everything going on. It rules out they did this or they did that, and definitely.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is a better way of questioning whether or not people are being
Sean,
truthful.
mute
how they're
yourself.
doing
You don't
it.
know what you're talking about.
I
Sean,
don't.
mute yourself.
I don't. Sorry.
Kick him out.
Now,
Shut up
Sean,
and beat
Sean,
your holes.
Sean, you're a technology denier.
Sir, just please mute yourself. You're ridiculous.
You don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Well, you guys don't realize it, but I've had to hang out muted for about an hour now. It's crazy. I can't imagine how anyone doesn't see the one-sidedness on a lot of those channels that are doing that. It's even worse. I don't know how people can really trust someone whose only mission is to be out there just talking shit. Like, I was actually having a conversation with Dabin Good, the guy that I forget, someone just got into debating with him on Jose's, but he was saying, like, he's like, well, I unsubbed you because you said something about, I said something about Jeranism, and I told him I'm very open about the fact that if I was a flat earther for 2 years, so I kind of have a good idea of who's spreading bullshit versus who's just trying to figure things out. And I think the majority of flat earthers are trying to figure shit out, and they're not bullshitting. The problem is that these certain content creators that are quote unquote teaching, they're literally teaching people I know and respect, myself, bullshit. And for whatever reason, they're not seeing it. I don't know, but I'll call it out. I'll tell you right now, Nathan, he's a scam artist. He can't change his narrative. He can't change what he says because all his viewers would leave.
He's gone too far down that particular rabbit hole, hasn't he?
Yep.
He can't.
Jaren,
He's got to carry on with it, or he loses everything.
Jeranism is the exact same way. He's done 3 transits of the. This is what me and Davin were talking about. Jeranism's done 3 transit upload or videos, and still acts like he has no clue what it could be, and people hear that and they think, okay, well, it's something, but it can't be the ISS. He would have said it was if he saw, and they don't realize that he's running a narrative right now.
Because if you can manage to capture a transit of the ISS against the moon, that verifies just how bloody fast it's moving. And if it's moving that fast, it can't be anything in the atmosphere because we haven't built anything that can. And certainly, it's got it's as aerodynamic as well. Its aerodynamics are worse than the brick. That can only be in the vacuum of space, because as soon as that touches any substantial atmosphere, it makes like a moth in a candle and goes poof.
Farmers, it's a projection. That's all it is. It's a projection.
It's a fucking good one.
Well, yeah, real shit. Imagine this: that projection, something has to be able to cast that projection from everywhere, because we can always track it. And then I noticed when people were going, yeah, but the live footage always cuts out. And then the realization is that the live footage may cut out, but you can still track it and capture it anywhere. All you gotta do is look at the tracker. The tracker runs 24/7.
I was hoping to see it last night, because what I was really hoping to see last night was that train of little satellites that SpaceX launched, whatever it's called, I've forgotten. And I did pull up the website that showed it, and I might have stood half a chance of seeing both of them last night, because in the afternoon it was really quite nice. And then the fucking clouds came over, and it's like, that's pissed on that one then, because I have seen the ISS quite a few times in the last few weeks, and last summer I think I saw it all night for a week, and they were really bright. They were sort of -3, -3.5 magnitude sightings, and just to sit there with a naked eye and watch it going over is quite impressive.
Yeah,
I ain't got a camera good enough to get shots of.
Yeah, I got an opportunity. I've seen the ISS one time. Okay, so I believe I've seen it twice, but I know for sure I saw it once. The first time I wasn't quite sure what I was looking for, so I think I saw it, but it was very dim, very, very dim, and it was low. It was real low on my horizon.
I actually saw one of them in Hunts when they were getting ready, back in '99. So no, not '89. 2005. I can't remember now.
Well,
Yeah, I saw the
ready.
Neal one.
I can say this because everyone realize is that in 2000 or 2024, that ISS is actually like supposed to, I guess, be on its way in. So, or that's when it will start its trajectory down. I guess you would call. I don't even know what you call it, reentry or whatever.
No, they'll still be using it. They can adjust it.
Yeah, no.
Well, they have to adjust it.
No, they can adjust it. This is well. I went over an article I had found about this. So, what's happening is in 2024, the quote unquote United States government funding for it will be done. Trump has hinted at the fact that they may make it up for offer for the private sector. That's the rumor right now. A lot of people thought China would have bought it, but they didn't. They obviously, everyone knows they're planning on building actually, their own and adding on to it.
I was say they have already got their own.
Yeah, but they're going to add to it. They're going to make it into their international space station. Basically, theirs is very small comparison.
Yeah, the app I use for tracking the ISS also tracks that. Was it the Xiangshan 2 or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
But I'd never see it because it's too dim, too bloody far away.
Yeah, it's way too small. I think it's the size of, it's like an eighth the size right now or something like that. It's really tiny. Especially to view. But what they've said is that if the private sector isn't willing to purchase it, they're thinking about defunding it. And if they do defund it and no one is willing to pay, they're going to let it re-enter. And if it does re-enter, I'm going to tell everyone right now, that's going to be the biggest light show you've ever seen, because I think that's probably the largest object we've re-entered that size. And it'll be exactly why we had to launch multiple missions to build it.
Well, I mean, it's huge compared to what was their last one, Skylab.
Yeah,
but that was basically that was basically the top half of the Saturn V, But this has been. I mean, they've been building it for 20 years,
It will be an amazing display of CGI.
Hologram. It's all a hologram.
Holographic CGI.
Yeah, because he was saying in the chat, Devlin guys, he was saying that 747 and the ISS were the same size, and you would never be able to see this 747 at that 250 miles. And I told him, I was like, well, first, the ISS is 100 feet longer, for one. Two, it's full. Like, it's not just wings hanging off the sides. It's a full, like, the panels, the modules, everything. It's 300 feet squared almost.
Yeah, I mean, most of what we see, I mean, if you're looking at it with a naked eye at night, the sun is reflecting off all of those PV arrays, all those panels, because that's what makes up most of it. When you actually look at a picture of the station as it is now, most of the habitable modules only make up still quite a small part of it, because you've then got all the trusses that carry all the gear, and they've got all the PV arrays bolted to them. I mean, yeah, it is a big bit of kit. And I'm sure if you could get a 747 up there and really had it in that really sort of polished aluminium they used to use on Mustangs and things, and had the sun shining off it, you'd see that too.
Well, that's why the best time to view it is at sunset. Watch the tracker, because I was lucky enough where I lived, it passed over a lot, and I actually had, I think in 6 months I probably had 5 excellent viewings. And the first time I know what I saw, it was I was watching the tracker and I watched it cross my horizon. I mean, on the dot, everywhere it would say it was in that. I think it was about 18 seconds. I watched it. It was, but all I saw, it looked like a very bright star shooting across my sky with no tail, no nothing. It just looked like a bright dot. And the reason I knew what it was is because, for one, the tracker told me it was there. For two, there was not a damn thing in that sky that moved like it did. Nothing.
No, nothing comes close to it. I mean, yeah, I watch it quite regularly. When the orbit happens to coincide with the UK, I mean, I've supposedly got a very good sighting tonight, 10:20 to 10:26 p.m. Unfortunately, it's raining outside, so I ain't going to see jack tonight. But when I do get to see it, there's quite often it's multiple evenings, and if you time it right, you can watch it twice a night. You can watch it 3 times a night if you want to stay
What
up
do you
late
use
enough.
to watch it, farmers? What do you use? A telescope?
Just the naked eye, because my app tells me exactly. It gives me a compass bearing, and it also gives me the azimuth. It gives me the elevation, and I know I have to wait a few seconds longer because usually where it appears, that's houses across the way. So I have to wait for it to appear above them, and then all of a sudden you'll see what looks like a bright star, only it's moving and it's really going some. And I can watch it for about 3 minutes before it disappears behind the roof of my house. And you can't mistake it for anything else. If it's a really bright magnitude, like tonight it's a -3 point something, the lower the negative number, the brighter it is, and you can't mistake it for anything else. And you know it's not a plane, because if it's a plane
It's more
flying
difficult
overhead,
to see. It's more difficult to see when the full moon is on or it's brighter outside.
it never seems to coincide. It's never the same side as the moon is.
Yeah, it's.
Or I've not had it yet.
For me, it was. I noticed right when you have a sunset, when the sun's gone, but the scattering is still light up the west of your skies. That's when it seemed easy, the best way for me to have seen it. I saw it. I felt like I saw it because the glare hit it real hard.
Yeah, it'll be brightest at about that time. Those things are easier to see than people think. I remember 1958 Explorer 1, and that's a tiny little satellite. Our first satellite.
Oh yeah, that was minute, wasn't it, really?
And that was maybe 150 miles up, something like that. But it was still just the size of a damn garbage can, and that thing was visible. We watched it night after night that summer.
Yeah, the glare that comes off of it, I don't think people realize how bright. Well, see, and that also says a lot. Cause I just realized it. If something that if it's 250 miles away, and the glare of it hits us that bright, because I'm telling people right now, if you get it at that point where I just talked about, you couldn't miss that dot in the sky shooting across. It's in you can't miss it. We don't see stars moving like that. We don't see shooting stars moving like that, which means only a couple things. Either they're super far away, and that observation or the way we're seeing it, it's going to move slower because it's so much further away.
Oh, cool.
But the ISS, you'll never see a plane move that fast from that distance.
Disconnected it?
It's easy to pick that stuff out. They move a hell of a lot faster than any airplane you ever saw.
Yeah, if you're looking for it, you will see it.
I mean, I'm used to spotting aircraft because I grew up under the flight path of the 2 biggest air bases here in the UK, RAF's Milton and Lakenheath. So I knew what the planes were just by the sound. I could sit there and go, that's a pair of F-15s flying over. I didn't even need to look. So I'm well used to seeing aircraft flying over all the time. And they generally have flashing navigation lights and make a lot of noise and everything else, whereas the ISS is just obviously a silent, very bright, usually, very fast-moving light. I could, in theory, see it twice tonight. If it weren't so bloody cloudy, I could see it. I've got a -3.2 at 10:20 p.m. and a -1.1, so not quite so bright, at 11:57. 90 minutes later, it's coming around again. Obviously, it's tracks moving.
And my favorite part of it is that I got to learn. Like, I didn't know what the azimuth was. It didn't make sense to me how to figure out my elevation. Like, I got to learn all that crap too. So even if you don't, because I probably went to view it. I probably tried viewing it about 10 different times, and I couldn't see it. Like, I always I thought maybe I was tracking too far, but it was always my azimuth. I didn't know where I was looking. I didn't know where it would start and where it would end. You have to figure those things out from the tracker. The second you have an idea of how that works, you'll be looking right in its path, and then the second the corner of your eye catches it, you'll see it. Right time of night, you will see it, and just watch it, and then think, what does that in our skies? Nothing.
How are you guys doing?
Hey, what's up, George? Hey, sorry about that.
Hey, George.
I just saw you tagged me in there, and that's when I put that link in there. So sorry it took a little bit longer.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. No, that's fine. I heard you discussing about the ISS. I have to tell you guys a story. This was probably the most spectacular thing I ever saw regarding the ISS and the space shuttle. Is the last time, one of the times I was visiting out in Colorado. This was a number of years back, a little more than 3 years back. was around the end of April. They had been advertising on TV and radio there that the ISS was going to make a Passover, Colorado, in northern Colorado. I was in Loveland, Colorado at that time. It's about 50 miles north of Denver. And they said the ISS was going to pass over a particular day and time. And they'd been broadcasting this for several days. And I was at a friend's place outside of Loveland, Colorado, out in the country. So, you know, you're already a mile up out of the atmosphere into the, you know, and it was pristine skies, absolutely beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky. It was a little over an hour after sunset. The ISS made a passover direct overhead. So, you know, you're going to have minimum atmosphere at that point between you and the ISS. I had my binoculars, and it was the most spectacular thing I'd ever seen because a space shuttle was docked to the ISS at that time. And you could see the form of the space shuttle, the wings, the tail docked as the ISS went over. You could see the panels of the ISS, and you could see the space shuttle. Unfortunately, at that time, I wasn't involved with anything to do with flat Earth or globe Earth or anything. I didn't even have a clue that this stuff was going on. Had I known at that time, you know, and had the camera, I would have recorded it. But I can't imagine that somebody didn't record that at the time because it was well known. It was being well broadcasted throughout northern Colorado by the Denver stations at the time that there was going to be this Passover. So, you know, maybe someone could look on the net and try to see if someone had recorded, because I mean, it was the most spectacular thing I'd ever seen. And it was from horizon to horizon. And, you know, the sun was reflecting off it just perfectly. I mean, that thing was really bright and well distinct in the sky. But to see the ISS with the space shuttle docked to it was just awesome.
Yeah, I bet it was. I mean, I'd love to see something like that. I mean, I must admit, a couple of weeks ago, I was over at a friend's, and I think we were talking about this, and I said, oh, yeah, I've got this app, and it tells you when it's flying over. And they sort of said, we'll be able to see it tonight. And I sort of looked out, I thought, the skies are clear, hang on a minute. And I said, yeah, in about 20 minutes, it's going to fly over. What? And they said, we'll be able to see the ISS. I said, yeah. When we stood on their balcony, I said, it should appear. It was coming over from behind us. I said, about now. We looked up, and there it went. And he said, look, that's the ISS. I said, yeah, and you watch it go. And we watched it for about another 3 minutes, and they were absolutely gobsmacked. Oh, I've never seen anything like before. I wouldn't even have known where to look and what it was. I said, well, there you go. You just seen the space station fly over. And that, I think that made their day, you know. They didn't even know it was possible that you could watch it. And I said,
Really quick, just to tell you, I got my internet back. This is in the laptop now, so my show will be resumed tomorrow, episode 78, I think it was. It should be. So, George, I'll holler at you if you're still interested in doing the presentation and seeing there. So,
awesome.
now I
I'll do that. Is Xander going to do his?
I'm not sure. That was today. So let me see later tonight when I get off work.
Yeah,
And in the morning.
if he's going to do, if he's going to do his, and it'll take about 10, 15 minutes, and I just follow after him, let him go ahead and do it. What I have is I was basically going to talk about Maxwell's equations, electromagnetic theory, and how gravity cannot be electromagnetic in nature, and just kind of go a little bit over a overview of electromagnetic theory.
Beautiful. Yeah, if you haven't checked yet, check out my stream from last night. I was going through a bunch of references and citations that Quantum Eraser presents some references, and I was just checking on those references he gave me, and I was just looking through them. And then Timmy Osman joined, and we had an interesting discussion about the scientific method, Quantum Eraser cherry picking quotes and stuff like that. So check it out if you haven't seen it yet.
Well, I'm going to show that, you know, if they believe that there are electromagnetic forces like electric forces and magnetic forces, and that you can test the scientific method, then I'm going to show that you can definitely do it with gravity, because well, I won't get into it right now, but anyway, the equations have the same form, and if you can manipulate one, you can manipulate the others. So,
quick question. On the
Have a
hangout
good night. I'm out.
yesterday,
Have a good
I
one.
was going to say, did Matrix ever answer any questions? So I know Sean was trying to drill into him for some actual data that proves his point, which he doesn't seem to want to provide.
Me or you talking about Shawn Hawkins? I don't. Yesterday I wasn't around. I don't think.
Shouty Sean. So.
What?
I
hear you. I'm playing.
Thank you, Mark.
Who are we talking about?
Matrix yesterday when you.
Oh yeah,
you're
yeah.
You're trying to hold his feet to the fire for the proof, to say, give us some data that proves your point, and he just kept trying to change the topic every single time.
Yep. I know I get annoying when that happens, but yeah.
No, it doesn't annoy me, mate. Because
You never get annoyed.
Thanks. Thank you.
Hey, check it out. Ooh, I got a Shield satellite dish right here.
Oh, that's pretty effective. I bet.
I like that.
Check that
Isn't
out.
that the Shield Dish Model 45?
What's that?
Yeah, flat earthers will say that it's facing the house, so it's only picking up omnidirectional signal, but they failed to realize how the reflector works.
Yeah, it reflects higher.
The signal comes in from this angle right here, and it bounces into here.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
yeah, it's offset so you can get
this
maximum exposure.
Yeah, this is not the elevation of where the signal is coming from. It's actually a lot more steep, about
And you
degrees.
You can take one of those dishes just like that, and you can build a mic. You can build an electron, or I'm sorry, you can build an electronic a telescope to pick up satellites.
Oh yeah, a radio telescope.
Yeah, the sky and see them up there.
Yeah, you're talking about a radio telescope. Yeah, those things are awesome.
Yeah, you can build a radio telescope that scans the sky and tells you where all the satellites are. Actually creates an image like a waterfall image. Shows them.
One interesting fact about these dishes here is that the oval shape is that way because actually reflecting multiple satellites that are in the belt on the equatorial belt.
Oh, yep.
So
okay.
Yeah, so
I thought
satellites are in that direction. Yeah, satellites are in that direction. Are bouncing in here and then into there, and then satellites are in that direction, bounce into here to that. So you'll see a lot of times that LMB have multiple receivers in here.
Yeah.
So this one has three. Pick up 3 satellites. That's why it's oval shape also.
Oh,
so,
yeah, that's not a real parabolic dish, as Carlos is pointing out.
Right.
It's so that you can
So it's got oval shape.
So you can focus from many different directions to the same focal point.
Okay, I always wondered.
Back in the old days,
circuit. It's a complex surface.
Back in the old days, they used to
it has
have
the
to actually
tilt
move
here.
it.
Yeah, you see the tilt. So depending on where you are in the Earth, the tilt's going to be different because you're looking at that equatorial belt from a different perspective.
Yeah.
So you can see why it's tilted that way.
Well, back in the old day, they used to have to actually move the antenna.
Oh yeah, exactly.
A true parabolic dish, you've got to be able to gimbal that thing and move it to pick up different satellites.
Well, the thing is that you have so much better electronics these days. You don't need to have the high gain of a true parabolic dish like you did decades ago.
We used to
C-band, right?
We used to go to my buddy's house and get high and then change the channel just to watch the dish move.
Sounds accurate.
Before I go here, what I wanted to mention, if you like seeing things in the sky, I use a website called heavensabove.com. It's heavens-above.com. And in there, they have a lot of satellite tracking. There's one section they call the IS or iridium flares. And you have this whole constellation of iridium satellites up there. and they have it calculated out that when the solar panels will be oriented such that they'll reflect the sunlight like a big mirror.
Yeah,
And it will
those
tell
were for
you
the
when you're
satellite
going to
phones,
get
right?
these iridium flares and the brightness at your location. They're really fun to watch. You time them and you watch up in the sky, and all of a sudden you see a light starting to grow brighter and brighter as it's going across the sky, and then there's a big flash, and then it dims away to nothing, and the process is about 10-15 seconds, and they're
Yeah,
kind of fun to spot.
people used to make long exposure photography with those and make those little streaks that when getting brighter and brighter through the flash and then back dimming out. Yeah, that was a constellation that I did coverage for satellite phones.
Yeah,
which-
that's the iridium satellite
Right.
phone constellation.
Which
but
they're gonna take him out of orbit,
RSS
right?
tracker shows them. The app I've got for tracking the ISS, it shows the ISS, Iridium, Chinese space stations, famous objects, amateur radio satellites, and just about everything. But I've also got a satellite tracker that's showing me how many
Yeah, the
satellites
Heavens
I've got
Above
over
is
the
a
amount.
really well done. Yeah, Heavens Above is a really well done site. It's comes out of Germany. It's maintained by Chris Pete, and they have a wealth of information on there. So I recommend anyone besides using Stellarium or whatever is check out Heavens Above, and you have to have that hyphen in there, Heavens hyphen above. Otherwise, you get a porn site or something like that.
Yeah, I had a pig name, last name Bacon. Just remind me of that.
Yeah, and you register your location, and you don't get any spam or anything from registering on this site. They're very professional.
Another quick question. What's going on with PJ Mars? Because he suddenly seems to have gone horribly racist and anti-Semitic and...
Oh, he's
or is
always
that
been that way.
Oh, has he? I
More
don't
so
know.
than usual.
Yeah. It's just that it settles
I have
down
no
for
idea
a
about the
while.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of like the scorpion on the back of a frog, going across the stream. Everything goes well for a while, and then he'll sting you.
Ah, I just thought he was a prick.
Well, he is that too.
He's kind of like a toddler who likes to show the food that he's chewed up, during dinner just to try and shock people.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I
he
wasn't
said
sure
the
if he was just trolling for shock or whether he was actually serious.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah,
He just.
No.
I just think
He
he's a
said
very
something the
unhappy person.
Well,
And
some
I
of that
quote,
some of that spiel is serious. I mean, he is your classic conspiracy theorist. He subscribes to all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he's not trustworthy. I mean, one day he's a flat earther, and the next day he's a glober. He's not. He has no credibility, no trustworthiness.
Every day he's a jackass. Though.
Yeah, hey guys, I'm gonna
that,
go ahead and end the stream only because I gotta get ready for the stream. You guys probably haven't seen it, but I've been posting a link. I'm gonna be streaming in at 12:30 my time, so 2 hours from now. If you guys want to jump in again. Just stop by if you guys want to talk. I'm going to be doing the ISS and space and kind of going against where how the dome could even possibly be. And then hopefully, we'll see where it goes from there. But I did want to thank everyone. And as a matter of fact, does anybody have anyone want to promote Big Blue? Did you want to promote your video again or?
Oh, just sure. Everybody come watch my video.
Yeah, there you go.
Already have.
and his link is in the descriptions down below. I checked this time, and then you guys can check out his videos. Good stuff. Carlos, anything you wanted to say besides kill flat earthers? Because
drink.
Anybody else? Anybody?
Yeah, I'll be having a. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was going to say I'm not going to interrupt you, Sean. I think you had enough of that over the last 2 days. Please go ahead.
I'll be having a hangout just like this at 2:00 on my channel. We had a pretty good turnout the first one, but the last ones were kind of sparse. But everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome to click the link. Come on in. It's safe. No one can be muted, booted. So yeah, it's just like this.
I'll prosecute it.
We're kind of I'm trying to kind of, and Crash agrees with me. You know, Jose does it in the morning, and then Shawn does it in the mid morning, early afternoon, and I do it in the afternoon, and then Carlos has, or not Carlos,
Crash.
Crash.
Yeah.
Crash has one in the evening. So I think it's kind of a cool series. You know, a way to go through the day.
Yeah,
For those of you who don't have lives like me.
And then Shawn, make sure if I'm live, you let me know that you're going to be going live soon, so that I know when to start wrapping stuff up. Because I like that too. I do like having people know what's going to be next. And I would normally be a little bit earlier. I usually try to do around 11:30 noon my time, so that way like they get a chance to go on as well. I'm only going to go on a little bit later today because I'm on now and I still need time to set up for the stream.
Right. I might move mine up or move it ahead, or whatever, move it like an hour.
I would do.
Today it'll be at 3:00.
45 minutes to an hour, because I know I'm not not doing a long one because I did this one this morning. I'm already tired, believe it or not. So.
Oh, I believe you.
Yeah. So.
Take a lot out of you.
So yeah, we'll definitely coordinate.
The only thing I was going to add, it's actually really nice because I mean I don't normally get home till about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, well 2 o'clock East Coast. So most of the stuff that Jose does is a bit too early for me. So I tend to pop in for the weekend ones, but it's harder with the ones during the week.
Mm-hmm.
So it is nice that there's some stuff a little bit later because it is a bit Euro friendly. We like that.
Yeah.
And the only other thing I wanted to say is thanks for hosting Truth, because I don't think we've spoken before, and also hi Big Blue, because I don't think I've spoken to you before.
Yeah. For the most part, a lot of you guys have. For the most, I'm Shawn G. I'm not sure if a lot of people know, but what happened is that I got two BS strikes on my channel, and I'm kind of dealing with that right now to get back to the Shawn G channel. So I made this channel so I had somewhere to live stream and still get out there to everyone.
Yeah.
And it turned out, yeah, exactly. And it turned out wonderfully. Obviously I don't have the same abilities, the perks of it, but again, I'd rather be doing it, period. So I'm happy here.
And especially if it allows any strikes to sort of go over on a main channel.
Exactly.
That is bloody sensible.
Mm-hmm. And then what I've been doing is I've been hand picking these live streams to go onto my Shawn G account, so I know there's no way in hell I can get a strike. I noticed, and this is something all content creators need to remember. I'm not sure if you noticed it or not, but on the watch page, when you're watching these streams now all you see is a faded, almost like you can see through a transparent Truth Army logo. That's because one of the ways that they're doing this copyright scam that people have been doing is they'll literally take your content off your page and then repost it and then hit the copyright. But if you have your brand is what it's called on that screen, they can't do that. So just remember that.
Clever.
Shawn, I was going to tell you about that too, Shawn, because I know you kind of just show the fact that you show your camera open all the time. That's good, because obviously someone can't say it's them if it's you. But anyone who doesn't, like right now, how I sometimes have my camera on, but usually I haven't lately. Make sure you have a logo on your screen.
Well, okay. I used to run help run an online role playing, Living City. And we had permission from the content creators, the people that wrote the role-playing game, to use their stuff and to use all their imagery. And I had someone apply a copyright strike against me. Against the channel that I was using to run the city. And we actually fought it and won.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is, this is pretty cut and dry for me, really. I was getting a bunch of soft strikes from a certain band that I was using the music for my intro, and I thought they had struck me because now I was monetized. I actually contacted the guy and talked to him for a couple hours, and it's the guy who copyrighted me. The email's not right, nothing's right, but YouTube is a problem. They don't want anything to do with it, so that's why it's lasted so long. Recently, I got in contact with it's a lawyer that basically does nothing but YouTube. So that's like all he does. And I was recommended that through a channel that a guy I know that has a much bigger channel than I do. And basically what they've told me is they've asked me, there was a couple that got struck that I had actually made myself 2 years ago, and then was copyright struck by a channel that was made 3 weeks ago. I sent them my screenshots of the actual, like I actually still had the process I did to make it. I sent them the editing, the whole nine. And the lady that I was in email touch with kept giving me the same runaround. We understand that blah, 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 blah. Wait the 90 days. And I was like, I'm not waiting that. I talked to the attorney called whoever he knows. And right now it's in the process of why haven't you guys done this yet? And I've already been told it'll be reactivated soon. It just takes time, is basically what I was told.
What I still don't understand with YouTube, because I did have this discussion before, and is why I can't go and hit YouTube up for injury, harm, loss, because it's their faulty decision or their lack of investigation, which is actually costing me money.
Because what?
Now, I've never monetized shit in my life on YouTube. I don't care. I make money quite happily without YouTube. But I don't understand why that isn't a thing. And I've looked through the T's and C's, and I can't really see how they're getting around that. There must be a legal precedent.
Yes, what they've done is they when you sign up for YouTube and you become a content creator, in the fine print basically is a clause that says any content is not YouTube's content. And because YouTube doesn't police the content, it's up to the creators and their own ways of finding out. They've made this thing called what's it called? I think it's like copyright ID or something like that. But like for instance, if someone used this stream, I'll get it. It'll hit my little account area that I see everything. It'll tell me that this is hit already, and I'll have that choice whether or not to copyright it or not. But you can go to anybody's channel and flag it and try to copyright it, but you'll start having to give your personal information out. And that's where that was supposed to be the fix for it, but it's not. It's really not at all.
No, it's not. Because it's so easy to use a proxy.
Because like I said, the main issue that I know is coming off my strikes was literally a video I did two videos I did 2 years ago. I have all the screenshots of my edits and the name and when they started, blah blah blah, and the biggest thing was I showed you guys this and you still chose not to reenact or reinstate my live streams, and they just kind of went, it's not our problem, all we do is hand the information over, but just remember, for them to make a copyright strike, they had to show efficient information for us to pull your channel down. Well, the second she said that, I instantly went and I took those two uploads down, emailed her back and went, hey, I just got those uploads taken down, so that should be for sufficient evidence that they were mine, right? And I haven't got an email back, and that's when I had called the attorney, and the 2 times I've talked to him, he said, don't even fucking worry about it. He said, all it's going to take is a little bit of time, just, basically the YouTube making sure they don't get in trouble again, and then they'll reinstate it. And it'll happen. I'm not worried about that. Again, like I said, I'm enjoying the shit out of myself right now. I like this channel, especially because I don't have to worry so much about anything happening.
It's the liability aspect of it that bugs me with the whole thing, because it seems that there is so little requirement to produce reasonable evidence to justify a loss of income.
Well, put it this way. So the copyright issue is an issue that YouTube's had since 2013, still not fixed. The porn bombing, when people were getting porn bombed using the regular Hangouts, they knew about it, and even though we're being hacked and then our channels are getting taken over, it's still our faults, and they've taken themselves out of the liability aspect of it. Google owns Hangouts, YouTube doesn't own Hangouts, so as long as that's the case, they don't have to be responsible for anything that happens on Hangouts. They're only responsible for what gets broadcasted on their station, on their end.
Yep, the joy of corporate separation. It's corporate separation, or the creation of multiple legal entities, so you can actually then argue between them.
Yeah, exactly. YouTube has actually stated in multiple statements they don't want people using OBS. They want you to use the normal quick Hangouts because they get They get revenue off of everything when the Hangouts are running on air. They need this, like the Hangout I'm using right now. They need this to be started, where it says start broadcast. They want me to push that button more than they want me to broadcast with OBS, because OBS they can't police what I'm showing. They can only police what's broadcasted.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna end this one. I'll be back on in just about an hour and a half, and then we'll, if you guys want to come back, and we'll continue the conversation talking about this YouTube issue. That's cool too. I don't mind that. I am very open about what I'm going through with them now. And then I definitely want to talk about the ISS and space, because it's been a big topic I've been hearing a lot, especially with how a dome would work when in the second laws in brought into it, and a lot of a lot of good information is coming from people, but I don't think a full information. I think George, you did something on the pressure gradients and all that stuff just recently. I thought that was really good, and you didn't leave out all the good stuff from the second law. Like I think who said it? I've been saying his name the whole time about it. Oh, Rumpus. He had corrected somebody, but forgot to bring up the isolated system. And that's what a lot of
it has to be a closed system.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of flat earthers are doing. They're using open or closed system as it, and they're not thinking isolated. But with a dome, local sun and moon, you're now in an isolated system, which means everything that you're observing and trying to make into your own way is impossible in an isolated system of your version. And that's
I heard the best question I've heard all week put to a flat earther is, if the sun's local, why doesn't it get hotter when we go up? Brilliant question.
Yeah.
So someone asked a flat earther, if the sun is local.
Remember, everything changes if they're in a. I'm sorry, George. Go ahead.
May I interrupt here?
Oh, absolutely.
I was just checking something, and this put a kind of a bug in your guys' on excuse me, on heavensabove.com. It's an excellent site. I posted the link a few times there in the chat.
Yes, thank you.
And it has sections in there about satellites, and in astronomy. The astronomy section is particularly strong. You can get things about mythology on the various constellations and things. But under astronomy, you have a thing called sun and moon. If you want to get particular data for any given day, you just click on one of those. It'll tell you all about morning twilight, evening twilight, nautical twilight, astronomic twilight. All these things tell you where the sun is going to be in the sky for max altitude, sunrise, sunset, that sort of thing. But what's really neat about this particular site is in any of these sections like sun, moon, and then also you have a full sky chart. The full sky chart for your location, once you've registered and given your latitude and longitude, it tailors the site to your location. So everything is from your latitude, longitude on how the skies will look, where the ISS will be, and so forth, the iridium flares and that. And the sky chart will that you print out has east and west flipped, you'll notice, so that when you print it out and you look overhead, you hold the printout overhead, then the east and the west will be aligned properly with your view looking up at the stars. So you can.
Yes, I see what you mean.
find
Yeah, because
the
I've
stars.
just logged into that site and I've just opened my interactive sky chart up. Yeah, very clever.
Yeah, it's very clever that way. Now, the thing is if you go to the bottom of the pages, you can advance or go back in time. You can give it a new date or time and hit update, and it will give you all the positions as it is going to be in the future or it was in the past. So if you want to prepare yourself for future viewing, you can put the time and date in that you want, and it will update everything for you. Same with the moon and the sun sites. Now, what I did, this is very interesting. You can play with it. Come June 3rd is going to be new moon. Okay, meaning we're not going to be able to see the moon. But if you look, the new moon is going to be very close to Mercury. And I advanced it one more day so that I get them lined. And Mercury is going to be in the sky, very a little bit lagging the sun after sunset. So there might be a chance, if you can catch the sun a little bit after sunset, that with proper optics, you might be able to see the new moon, where they're always saying, well, where's the moon during new moon? There is no moon, but you might be able to capture it in the sky because you'll have a reference. You'll have Mercury that's going to be right next to it. So you should be able to position where the new moon might be, and maybe with proper magnification and optics, you'd actually be able to see it right after sunset. Just a thought.
CGI, that is.
I'm gonna go check that out as soon as I get off here. I'm gonna get out of here, guys, because I still got some stuff to take care of. George, I appreciate you showing us that link, because I just clicked on it myself, and it's actually pretty damn cool. And I also
what I like is the ability to change the time and the date, so you can advance or go back in time, so you can see how things might be in the future to prepare yourself.
Yep, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Well, see what the North Star looks like in the year 5 AD.
And then, George, tomorrow you're going to be presenting on Jose's, correct?
Yes, I could also do something here for you too if you want, but it just depends upon how it goes on Jose. Xander's going to present, and if it ends up being a shit show after Xander presents, and I won't present. I don't like getting caught up in all the crap. That it depends on who he brings into the hangout.
Okay.
You get certain personalities on there, and then the show to hell.
Yeah. Well, I have your. I can just message you in the server on the Discord, and we can go from there, because I have we messaged before, and we'll play it by ear, I guess.
Yeah, the best way to get in touch with me is through Skype.
Yeah. I can do that.
I talk to Dean about getting in on one of the open discussions that Jose has. This open discussion site on Skype, and you might become a member on that, and then you can.
Yeah.
That's a better way to get in touch with me.
Yeah, I'm in there. I can get a hold of you easily.
Yeah, message me that way, because I always have my Skype open. I don't get onto Discord very much anymore.
All right, no problem. I appreciate that. I'll message you, and we'll go from there.
And if you wanted to do some, I could do something later on too about the gas pressure and the second law of thermodynamics. I never did finish that up.
Okay.
But there's a lot of good stuff on there to discuss, to show where some of the misconceptions, like Chris Berry has regarding. He put a proposal out there that the gas pressure gradient could be due to temperature, and I can show you why that isn't possible at all.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be on about an hour and a half. I'll send you the links in Skype. So if you're around and you have time, you can just stop in, and I'll check.
Yeah, the best time for me is in the mornings or late at night, because during the day I've got my business and also plenty of yard work to do these days.
What may work is if we did that and not on a live stream, and then I just upload it maybe, or air it on the stream, just something like that. You know, that may be a little bit better.
Yeah, we can work it out. This is Shawn G, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I'll work with you on it. It's just that timing is important.
Yeah. And I definitely want to make sure everything's good for you. So and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
Sure. Just let me know.
All right. Perfect, sir.
All right.
All right, guys.
Take care.
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. I'll keep this one open if you guys want me to. And then anyone that wants to jump in from the chat, I'll put the link out there as well. I'm not sure if anyone's going to keep going. Usually the conversation is heated when it does, but we'll see. Guys on the panel, I do appreciate it. If I forgot to ask if you needed anything, speak up now, and you may promote whatever you like.
No, I'm off, but I'll be back for yours in about an hour and a half, in you?
Yeah. I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna start sharing the link in the chat a little bit more. That way, everyone knows where it's at. And then Farmer, I'll make sure I think I have you in my Hangout. If I don't, you'll see it. But I'll try to get the link out to you and everything. So make sure you get on.
Yeah.
No, I've got your link. I've got the window open, so I'll catch you later.
Okay.
I'll put up new content weekly.
Okay.
All right, Cats, you want to promote anything, or I know you talking about something earlier. You may be on the phone. I think I just heard you. Shawn, you said you'll be on a little bit. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and take in this Hangout right now, and then get this show up under wraps. Like you guys to join me on the YouTube watch page, because another 30 seconds for the frogs will be happening, and just respect. All right, guys. So again, like I said, thanks everyone. I mean, again, this was the biggest live stream I've actually had, so I am honored by all means that you guys were here. But I'd like to, before we end, take a moment, 30-second pause for the frogs, and just keep them in our hearts, and know that we care. #free for the frogs.